everybody, and welcome to F1 Tonight UK. This is Season 2, Race 2 here at the Sakir Circuit in Bahrain, and I am joined this evening by Guido. Good evening, Guido.
Good evening.
How are you today, sir?
Fine, sir. Fine, sir.
That's good. That's what we like to hear.
And you?
Yep. Can't complain. Can't complain. So,
and don't?
No, I won't. I won't indeed. Right, okay, championship standings. This is the first race. We'll have the first day, second race of the season. And who leads the way? It's Phil Harris for Ferrari. Took the win last week and also the fastest lap, picking up 26 points. Second, Ross Milburn in the Racing Point with 18. Third, Jamie Good in the Toro Rosso with 15. Then we have Lee Pratt in fourth for Ferrari with 12 points. 5 is Sean Street for McLaren. 6 is Cameron Widdowson for Williams. 7 is Matt Goodyear for Mercedes. 8 is Jack Wilson for Renault. 9 is Jake Sorrell for Racing Point. And 10, Josh Diggles for Williams. Then we have 11, Adrian Rich. 12, Dylan Platt. Surprise there. Went out early doors last week in Australia, so a lot to come back for there. Then we have Chris Knight in 13. Ryan Doran in 14. Thomas Cook in 15. Tony Foster, 16. 17, Callum White. 18, Ryan Lear. 19, Gary McKenney. And Carl Jackson for Mercedes is 20. Not an awful lot to discuss there, I guess, obviously. Second race of the season. But that said, obviously, Dylan Platt out of the points. He's going to be looking to get back in there. And I'm sure his teammate Callum White as well. Red Bull at the moment in 12th and 17th, respectively.
Yeah, beautiful car, beautiful team. Let's see what happens there.
No bias. No bias, of course, Guido.
Of course not.
Races for Red Bull this season for Season 7 NL, for those of you that may be unfamiliar with him. So that's why he's obviously shouting the praises of Red Bull. Okay, so let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship then. Leading the way, obviously, Ferrari with 38. Second is Racing Point with 18. Third, Toro Rosso with 15. Fourth, McLaren with 10. Fifth, Rocket Williams. Then we have Mercedes in 6. 7 is Renault. 8 Red Bull on 0, 9 Alfa Romeo on 0, and 10 is Haas on 0. So early doors as a stage, still a lot to go for, but important lead already from Ferrari there. Let's go on to the track map, and let me just say quickly, track map graphics supplied by Dan Hazard. So fantastic job he has done on these, I've got to say. So here we are, Sakir Bahrain International Circuit, as we said earlier on. And we have 15 corners, 3 sectors. First sector, I better do the race length, hadn't I? So lap length is 3.362 miles. The total race length is 191.453 miles, and we're looking at 57 laps. First circuit said, start-finish line. Takes you around 1, 2, 3, 4, and down to just before or on turn 5. Second sector takes you from that turn 5 around to halfway between turns 12 and 13. And then the final sector there takes us from there up until the start-finish line. 3 DRS points. But let's have a look at the speed trap first. So that is on the start-finish straight, unsurprisingly. That's probably the fastest part of the track. Then we have DRS detection zone 1. That's just as you're coming up towards turn 1. And that activates out of 3 down to 4. Then the second DRS detection zone is just before you go around that little dogleg left of turn 9 before going into the almost hairpin of 10. Very reminiscent to the Circuit of the Americas, that stretch there. So that's DRS detection zone. That activates out of 10 down towards 11, effectively the back straight. And then the third DRS detection zone is just before you come into the penultimate turn. That's turn 14. And unsurprisingly, that activates on the exit of 15 down that start-finish straight, leading you into turn 1. It is quite a different track. It is. I mean, the 3 sectors are quite different. Obviously, first sector, you've got to watch that turn 1 and 2. And it's more important, I guess, your exit out of 1 to get into 2, especially if you're in competition, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely turn 1 is a very dangerous bend. If you get that wrong, you will go off or you will go wide. And it will cause a lot of problems. And if you don't hit that apex, you can forget turn 2. Turn 3 is a mild corner. There's nothing much to say about that. But 1 and 2 is definitely the first hurdle you have to take.
Yeah, definitely. And then we got obviously that DRS leads down towards 5. Sector 2, far more tricky, a lot more bends. Obviously, you've got that sort of run down to turn 8. Again, that's very reminiscent of the French Grand Prix, I think. And then you come down to 8. You've got, say, turns 9 and 10, somewhat similar to the USA Circuit of the Americas. And then you've got that long sort of back straight, well, long, not that long, but a back straight leading round to turn 11. Now, turn 11 into 12, because you've got that reverse camber. You're building up speed as you're coming uphill, because that's uphill round 11, and then round 12 as well. Very easy to go offline there and lose it completely, isn't it? Lose the traction.
The thing is, curbs. Do not hit the curbs. If you hit the curbs on the right side, you will lose your car and it will be done. Because usually when you try to correct it, you overcorrect it and it hits the wall on the right side somehow. So that's definitely that's a spot we have to look at tonight, because there will be something going on there.
Okay, and there you have it, and that is very much Dean. Then you got a bolt down out of 13 down to 14. Obviously, dog leg right effectively, and then turn 15 nice and easy. But you've got to watch the exit out of 14 into 15. Easy to go wide there, and then the start finish straight. Okay, Guido, I'm just going to transition across to pick up the transmission. If you could just run through the runners and riders as they are on the track, please.
Yes, I can. I believe there are some new names for me there, because I've been watching last week a bit. But first on the track, if my controller works, and yes, it does, I have number 1, Adrian Rich. Ross Milburn is second with the pink lolly, as we call it. And because there were times set, my list is going to change. So Josh Jagels is now in first position. Let's see. Where was I?
Josh Diggles, you were with,
Josh
sir.
Diggles, yes, but it kept changing in my...
That's okay. We'll let you off in this instance. I think it's allowed. Okay.
It's been a while.
So we're in Q1, 13 minutes remaining of this Q1. As Guido was saying there, Josh setting the fastest provisional time, 127.7. I haven't had a look at the tyres here. So everyone's on softs. Lee Pratt is on hards. Jamie Good is on hards. Chris Knight, Matt Goodyear, they're on hards. On the medium is Jack Wilson, Ryan Lear and Phil Harris. And Dylan Platt, yes, I thought that'd be. He's gone on to the mediums. He's in the pits at the moment, so he's just going on to the mediums. Obviously, Dylan missed out last week in the points. Did okay, certainly in the queues, no problem there. But yeah, unfortunately lost out. So he's going to be looking to fight back this one. 18 drivers on the track. Q1, we will be dropping 3 drivers. So the 3 slowest drivers will be dropped, and they will assume their places respectively on the grid of 16, 17 and 18. So let's have a quick look here. Adrian Rich setting the second fastest time, 129.1 so far. Ryan Doran, 129.2. Tony Foster, 129.595. Jack Wilson just jumped him at a 129.543. Phil Harris, a 130.3. Carl Jackson, a 130.4. Jamie Good, 130.6. Chris Knight, 130.6. Lee Pratt, 130.9. Matt Goodyear, 138.0. And Ross Milburn, 145.5. Not quite what he was looking for there. For this Q1 session, most of the guys putting in round about 1. I would suspect that the drop zone for those guys in 15-16, if everyone sort of tallies up, should be round about that 130, high 130 mark, 130.6, 130.8, something like that, I would suspect. What do you think, Guido?
Yeah, because we try. I don't know what where the mark will be actually, because you see already very different times, and obviously it's Q1, so.
Oh, look at that! We were just on board, Rossville, but I stayed on with it. 127.737, so that puts him in provisional P1 for this Q1 session. So good run there from him. Yeah, well, not necessarily unexpected.
No.
Dylan Platt's still in the pits. He hasn't come out as yet. Ryan Lear is on track. Sean Street in the pits. Callum White in the pits. They're still holding out.
I suspect Dylan is waiting for a little bit of rubber on the track. Maybe get a little bit more grip.
Yeah, we're on board with Cameron Widdowson at this moment in time. Just coming around turn 7. Down into turn 8 now. And then 9. Nicely done, beautiful one there. Hits the apex perfectly for that exit. See how he's doing at this moment in time. This is out lap, so that's okay. We're not too panicky on that.
Now this is on the right side. This is what I meant. If you hit that curb, you will lose your car no matter what. Even if you have fresh tires, or you have old tires or warm tires, that's a very dangerous curb.
Yeah, definitely. And it is, I mean, as I say, you're going to see people very likely going off 11-12, I would suspect.
Probably, because it's a 100% race. And oh, what's this?
Oh no! Dearie me!
What the?
Dearie me! There? Well, Cameron Widdowson is out of the queue, so he'll be starting at least in 16 there. And that was somewhat unfortunate. He lost it.
Unexpected.
On that. Well, it's that, yeah, but you say that. I mean, when you're coming into the penultimate turn 14 and you're trying to straighten up for 15, trying to get it right, it's relatively easy actually to get that wrong and just spin off. He just laid down that little bit too much power on the exit out of 14, and that's what happened.
Yeah, well, fresh tires, you should be able to get a little bit grip, but then you never know. Maybe it's, as rightfully as you said, it's just a little bit power too early, and it goes like that.
Yeah.
It goes like that. Oh, number 1. Let's see. Ross is off.
Well, I think he's confident that he's going to get through. I mean, it's understandable. I think he's pretty confident he's going to get through there.
Probably.
We're actually on board with Sean Street at this moment in time. He's just on his out lap.
Sean Street. And the Dutch League, we call him a little bit like Sean Stroll. Just because we can.
He might not take kindly to that.
No, we're not making fun of him, but it's just, you know, it's just S and then STR, you know, it's just, well.
Yeah, I know, STR for Stroll. I was actually looking at that today because I was watching the Bahrain race from 2019. And that actually sort of hit me. So yeah. So
forgive me if I get it wrong, and I call, Sean Stroll's going off.
Sean Street, aka Stroll.
No.
Although I don't think McLaren would necessarily want Mr. Stroll in their team.
I don't think so.
I think they're
maybe once his dad.
I think they're quite pleased with Mr. Sainz and Mr. Norris.
Yes, they are.
So Sean Street on his opening lap. Let's see how he does in this opening sector. 28.2.
Nice.
Into the second sector now.
That's also a very dangerous one. If you hit it too fast there, you'll go off. And here we go. Quick on the brakes.
I think it's pretty safe to say anything that isn't a straight line is pretty dodgy.
Yeah, well, in the end it is. Obviously, if you... But I think it's there are nice corners here. You can go a little bit wide here, and you can go a little bit.
He's not using the full width there of the track, certainly.
And this is very dangerous.
Yeah.
He's doing right.
Set a purple in the middle sector, so good one
purple
there.
Sector.
Middle purple sector, purple middle sector there. Coming down towards turn 14 now.
There we go.
Nice and smooth. What are we looking at here? 127. 127.9 puts him in provisional P4 for this Q1 session. So good run from him. Where's Dylan? I was just trying to see where Dylan was. Dylan set a 128.0 on the medium tyres, so the fastest medium runner. So not opting for the hards today, going for the mediums, Dylan Platt. And setting good time there. Ryan Lear currently 128.2. Ryan Doran 128.4. Chris White. Sorry, Callum White. I do apologise. 128.9.
I thought you knew these guys.
Phil Harris, well, yeah, 29.4. Matt Goodyear, 29.4. Lee Pratt, 29.4. Jack Wilson, 29.5. Carl Jackson, 29.5. Tony Foster is currently leading or at the back there in P15, 129.595. Next closest is Jamie Good, 129.7. He's currently in the pits, and Chris Knight is actually on his outlap. So let's go with Chris. And interestingly, Chris has opted for the hard tyres. He's on his outlap now.
Okay.
Now, even Dylan Platt didn't go for the hard tyres. There were some guys on the hard tyres earlier. A lot more. Lee Pratt's still on his, but he's in the pits. There were a few more, about 5-6 guys, I think, out on the hards when I ran through it earlier. So clearly they've decided that isn't the one to go for. So, but
well, I have to know the tyre wear on this track is pretty high. But I don't know. You know, it's with Dylan. I don't know what that means. He's now driving on his yellow tyres.
Yeah. Well, let's put it like this: if Dylan's on the yellows, I don't think hards are necessarily the way to go. It depends. I don't know. I mean, you know, it depends on the driver if he feels comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So Chris Knight just starting his opening lap. Let's go on board. So as we come into that right-hand of turn 1, hit that apex. Watch your exit, because you're going to want to hit the apex of turn 2 as well. Go off right. Go road to the left now, out of 3, coming down towards 4. Dropping down round this right-hand bend now. Straight now. You're going to start dropping downhill now, left, right, downhill, left.
Ooh. Got a bit of a stutter.
Just a little bit into turn 8.
Oh, we lost it there.
A little bit too much power there, and he's got a very loose. That back end is very loose. Round 9 now, down into almost hairpin 10 on that back straight. DRS tearing down here into 11. Now let's watch him round 11. Getting tight. He wasn't tight enough on the left. Wasn't able to build up the speed as he was coming out right. Let's see if he does here. Round 12.
Ooh, traffic.
Into 13. That's driver going out of the way there. Good job there from the McLaren driver. I think that may have been Sean Street, actually. Yeah, he was. He's on his outlap. Round the penultimate turn now into the final. Whoa! There we saw that power going down. And that's what we saw earlier on that exit of 14 with Cameron Widdowson. And, well, 129.8. Can't quite make it, can he, Chris?
No, he can't. He probably won't. He probably will. Well, if he wants to come in, I don't know. I don't think he's going to make it.
I don't think he's got time to come in. We've
no,
got
it's
2 minutes 30. He's got to get go into the pits, get the wheels changed, come out, and then set an opening lap. I don't think that's going to happen.
So he's trying now another one. And I think the problem is the hard tyre here. He can't control it.
It's just not got the heat in it. It hasn't got the grip in it, has it, at this moment in time?
No, exactly. And he's looking fine right now, but the problem is exactly as you say, when the tyre doesn't heat up fast enough,
Well,
you won't have the grip to do it.
We could see it was on the exit of the corners where he had to accelerate hard. That's where he was having the issues, because that back end was just throwing itself out, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's probably, I guess, to do with the heat in the tires and the lack of grip.
Yeah. Well, he's going for it again.
Looks good.
I think he has improved on his time. It's just too much. It's just too late. It's still going to be around about the 129 mark, definitely.
Oh, he's going in.
Yeah, he's going in, yeah. I think that's it. So Chris Knight looks like he's going to be starting in 17. Jamie Good is out on track now for his fast lap. Let's join him. And Jamie, remember, had a great result. Let's see what he can do here this evening.
Let's see.
Coming around sector 2 now. Oh yeah, so it does. Very, very true.
Oh, the Ferrari's going wide. I don't know what he's doing there, but...
Just watching Jamie now as he comes over the start-finish line. And he gets up to P11. So he's dropped Tony Foster into that drop zone. Tony Foster is currently out on track in Sector 3 as we speak. What can he do, if anything? Coming round the final corner now, onto that start-finish straight.
Oh, he's quitting,
yeah,
quitting.
He's into the pits. He's not happy with that.
No.
So Tony Foster into the pits. So there we have in the drop zone. Well, we certainly have Chris Knight in 17. Cameron Widdowson in 18. Tony Foster is currently 16 and into the pits, and that's where he's going to be starting. Everyone else on track now is just really for the hell of it. Matt Goodyear, in the meantime, did take that first place in his Q1 session. We're on 27.641. That's
nice.
1.1 seconds faster than the second fastest, Ross Milburn. That's moving.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I have to say, it's pretty good to see a full grid. Almost a full grid like this.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, it's sometimes hard to get 20 guys on the grid, and well, FOTUK is taking pole there, getting everybody on the grid as much as possible.
Yeah, great run. Unfortunately, Gary McKenny wasn't able to make it because he's ill with the lurgies, and there was somebody else. God, I can't remember who it was now, but we'll come to that. So Matt Goodyear with a 127.6, then we have Ross Milburn, Josh Diggles, Dylan Platt, Thomas Cook, Sean Street, Ryan Lear, Ryan Duran, Kyle Jackson, Chris White, Jamie Good, Adrian Rich, Lee Pratt, Phil Harris and Jack Wilson, all through to the second queue. 16 will be Tony Foster, 17 Chris Knight, and 18 will be Cameron Widdowson for Williams. So let's go on to Q2 now. And some interesting times, 127 there. What do you think we're going to see here? Do you think we're going to see, I suspect we're probably going to get into the high 125s in this session. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Guido.
A 25s would be amazing. Then we know it will be really fast. Because obviously this is not as representative as it will be in Q3, but I don't know. You don't know. You know, it's going to be the tactics of which tires are we going to start, which tires people want to qualify onto, and then we'll see what happens.
Bit of a mix. Most of the field going for the soft compound tyres. Just want to see who's that out on track. Josh Diggles is leading the way. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, he is. Josh Diggles is indeed leading the way. Yeah, quite a few on the softs though, but on the medium, Thomas Cook, Sean Street and Kyle Jackson. And on the hard, Lee Pratt and Callum White, interestingly enough.
Yeah, it could be. But, you know, in the end, these guys are all fast enough to do it. But it is a treacherous track. And as we just saw, if your tire's not hard enough, you won't have control with this compound.
Yeah.
But it could happen. It could happen.
Well.
Oh, what happened there?
Oh, that's Thomas Cook. He's out already. Let's quickly go on board with Lee Pratt, see if you can see where he is. There he is. Ah, right. Okay. That was rather unfortunate. That was out of turn 4. And again, too much power laid down. And that took him into the barrier. So Thomas Cook is out. So, rather unfortunate there. Because that means that Alfa Romeo are going to be starting pretty much at the back of the field by the looks of it. Because his teammate Chris Knight went out, obviously, in Q1 session. And in this Q2 session, we will go from 15 to 10 drivers. So the 5 slowest drivers being dropped. Now, the important thing about the Q2 session is whoever qualifies in that top 10 in this Q2, the tyre with which they set their qualifying lap will be the tyre they will have to start the race on. Interestingly, Ross Milburn in the pits just went on to the hard compound tyres.
I have no idea why.
Okay, so Josh Diggles now out on his fast lap. Let's go on board with him, coming through sector 2 now. Down into turn 7.
Good.
Sorry, turn 8, what I'm saying. Into 9, 10 now. There we go. Winding it up now, getting ready. Round 11.
Go wide, go
on board.
Yeah.
Nicely done, using all the width of the track there. And then that turn 12. And he's really on the edge of his grip there. Fantastic middle sector, fastest sector. So, what can he do here?
Oh, he's going to get the fastest time now. He's the first.
I pretty much say he will be. The question is, what is it going to be?
What's it going to be?
It's a 129.7.
Ooh.
So, interesting one there. Adrian Rich coming round now. See we do. Callum White sets a 129.8 on that hard compound tyre. Wow. 131 from Lauren Lear in a Haas. Adrian Rich coming over now. No, doesn't set a time there. Oh, Josh Diggles is up there.
129.7.
129.7. That's a 10th out of Callum White.
Oh.
But what a difference. It's only a 10th, Guido, and he's on the soft compound tyres, and both Callum White and Lee Pratt were on the hards.
Yeah.
What suddenly happened to those hard tyres? Have the guys just made some adjustments in the pits?
No, they shouldn't. I don't think they can.
No, they can't.
Because it's park firm.
Limited.
Limited. Yeah. They can put the braking a little bit forward and backward.
You can also adjust the front wing, can't you?
Yes, you could. Yes, you could.
Yeah. So they could have just been putting down a little bit more grip. So possible that could have made a difference for them.
But I saw them weaving a bit more than when they started on the white wall. So it's probably getting more heat then, and then probably they will produce more grip then. Yeah,
exactly. Well, that's exactly what we were referring to in that Q1 session, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Matt Goodyear's had a great time, 128.
Oh yes, look at that. That Matt Goodyear, yeah. That is a 128.240 from Matt Goodyear.
Yeah. Good.
So good run from him there. Let's have a look down this field. So Ross Milburn now.
Ross Milburn, 128.7 on the white. Is it on the whites or was that on the...
That was on the medium.
On the mediums, yeah, exactly. Because it now shows...
Thrown into the pits. Jamie Good just coming round now on his fast lap. Let's see what Mr. Jamie of Good can do in that Toro Rosso.
The Toro Rosso, Alpha Tauri.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's yeah.
That's a beautiful looking car, the Alpha Tauri.
Yeah. Got to get used to saying Alpha Tauri now.
Yeah.
But then again, F1 teams change their names more times than I do my underpants, I think.
Oh, I'm not even going to comment on that.
So, Jamie Good coming round down the back straight now. What can he do? This is going to be interesting. Using all the width there, certainly. Laying down some good speed. This is going to be the critical one now.
Oh.
Ooh.
Are those track limits? Are those track limits? I don't think so.
No, he didn't exceed the track limits. No red. So it is still valid. What does he do? What does he do? 128.864 puts him in that provisional P3 position. And but this is crazy. This is in reverse order. Look at that top three. Soft tyre is the third fastest. And now we've got another medium runner, Sean Street, a 128.4, jumps into P2 position in his Q2, and he's on the mediums as well.
Well, maybe they should do the long stint on the red tires and the short stints on the...
This is very interesting. Currently in the drop zone is Ryan Doran, 135.6. Ryan Lear is 131. I don't think that's going to be the drop, though. I suspect the drop's going to be round about the low 129s, actually, I think, but at the end of this session. Ryan Lear at this moment in time in the Haas.
Oh. A little bit of oversteer, it looked like.
Just a tad.
Oh, it's no Corona, is it?
Just trying to see if I can get a little bit of info on Mr. Lear.
Yeah.
So not taking into account last week's race. So 0 poles, best qualifying is third, 0 wins, best finish second, 2 podiums, 137 points last year, no driver days and 4 DNFs. Holds record for the longest finish streak of 10 races.
Nice.
So season 1 final position was third on that 137 points. Objective this year is to get into the top 10. Well, finished third last year, so I should think he'd be okay this year.
Should be able to do that.
Ryan Lear in the Haas.
On the back straight to see what time he gets. He will get up there.
He should do. We are running on board at the moment. He is currently in that P10 position. Needs to get into those low 129s if he can, but doesn't make it. Obviously, that was
fourth.
Yeah. Now down to fifth. As Josh Diggles puts in another lap, 128.3.
Yeah.
Matt Goodyear still holding with that 128.2. Jack Wilson, 128.3. He's on the softs as well. But this is really bizarre because it's the harder compound tyres that seem to be winning out. The medium compounds just seem to be annihilating the softs at this moment in time.
There's a Ferrari coming out.
Yeah. I think that could be Lee Pratt.
Lee Pratt.
Or Phil Harris.
Phil doesn't have time yet.
It's Lee Pratt. Phil Harris has not come out as yet. He does need to come out.
Yeah, is that a confidence call? He's gonna have to set one lap and then he knows that he's gonna be up there, or is it? I don't know. What's it gonna be?
teammate Lee Pratt is out there at this moment in time. Lee Pratt came 4th last week, so valuable points were picked up in Australia for Ferrari, and I'm sure they're going to look to try and maintain that. Very important once you start a gap that you maintain it, isn't it? Especially in the constructors.
Yeah, it all comes down to basically driving your own race. Just don't do something too hasty, and don't just stick to your own tactic. That's usually the way we go at it, and it all comes together at the end of the race, and that's where you calculate your tactics on.
Just having a quick look in the drop here now. That's now 129.2, so round about right mark. I was saying low 129s.
Yeah.
So 129.2 is the drop at the moment. Adrian Rich is on the 129.5. Lee Pratt is out on track. Phil Harris is yet to come out on track. Thomas Cook crashed out. Carl Jackson out as well. So they will be starting 14 and 15 respectively. They're already out. So only 3 drivers in the running at the moment. Adrian Rich, Lee Pratt and Phil Harris. And Phil Harris still in the pits with only 3 minutes. Just over 3 minutes remaining.
He's going to set one lap because I think it's a confidence call. He's too confident he can make it. Okay, I'm looking at Lee Pratt. He was weaving just now, and now he's going to set a fast lap.
Yeah. There he goes now. Let's go on board with him. Out of 3.
Yeah, nice. He goes all the way, use the width of the track, just as you said.
Down to 4 now. Watch that exit. Don't lay the power down too early. Nicely done. Straighten up the car beautifully there. 5, 6. Dropping downhill. 7. Into that turn 8 now.
Oh shit, spike early.
Good line.
Short shifting.
He is short shifting.
Nice apex.
Good. This is looking a good lap, I've got to say.
Yeah. Going all the way wide. Turning in.
Laying down that power. Well done. Yeah, good one there. Round 11 into 12 now.
What strikes me is that they
purple middle sector there, Guido. Purple middle sector.
I see it. Nice. Dylan is taking it to the side. Let him in pass.
Into 14 now. Lining up 15. This is going to be a low 128. 128.5. What a fantastic run there from Lee Pratt. 128.5. I think he can be pleased with that.
Phil is going on the white walls. What?
Let's go with Phil Harris. Phil Harris is on those white wall tyres indeed. Okay. Interesting call.
He's got me puzzled here.
Well, we do have Dylan Platt. I mean, Dylan Platt is up there on the hards with a 128.9. Dylan, his preferred tyre is the hard tyre. He did opt for the hard tyre in his Q2 session. Clearly, he's looking to start the race on that. Is Phil Harris looking to push him out? Because Dylan is currently sitting in that P10, 128.9. He is on an outlap as we speak, as is Phil. Just trying to see where... So Phil's there, and Dylan is a little bit further back. So Phil will set his lap first, and then I'll cut to Dylan. So somewhat reminiscent of last week, but this is the time now, these final closing minutes of this queue. This will be when we'll see these fast laps go down. Phil Harris now started hitting his lap, and this is critical for Phil. He needs to get certainly at least a 129, what, 9?
Good cornering, good cornering.
129.8. Well, sorry, 128.9, 128.8. That's what he's aiming for, or lower.
Wide, he's going a bit wide. Oh. I don't know, it's just one mistake and you won't be in the top 10 here.
Yeah,
I don't know where he's going right now. It's a little bit difficult to say. I don't think he's having a perfect run here.
I don't think he's having the run that he wants, and that's the problem. You can go out there, go for the last shot, but if you make one mistake, it's going to affect the whole rest of your lap and your attitude as well, and you've got to be really strong to just overcome that and keep going. Coming to the end of Sector 2 now. Round 13. He needs to be hitting, really, when he gets to 14, at least 120, 121.
Okay,
He is on mark. He is on mark. Let's have a look here. Oh, 128.96! He just misses out in that P11 position. Oh, dearie me. And that is it. So Phil Harris will be starting in P11. Jamie Good, he's 10, 9, Ryan Doran, 8, Lee Pratt, 7, Ryan Lear, Sean Street, 6, Jack Wilson, 5, Josh Nichols, 4. But look at this. Dylan Platt, out on track at this moment in time, has already set a 128.2 on that hard compound tyre. That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's... Well, we saw that
He's
before.
into the
We saw
pits.
that in races before.
Yeah.
This is that hard tire is somewhat. It doesn't. You know, it's his compound in any race.
It's his party piece, isn't it? That's for sure. And he certainly feels comfortable with it. So there we have the results now for that Q2 session. Ross Milburn with the fastest lap, 128.0. That was on the medium compound tyre. Callum White is in second. Matt Goodyear is third. Dylan Platt fourth. Josh Diggles fifth. Jack Wilson sixth. Sean Street 7. 8 Ryan Lear. 9 Lee Pratt. 10 Ryan Doran. In the drop zone, starting P11, Jamie Good. 12 Phil Harris. 13 Adrian Rich. And Thomas Cook will be 14. And lastly, Carl Jackson, row 8, will be starting in P15 for Mercedes. Those drivers from 11 up will have a free choice of tyre to start this race with. Whereas the rest of the guys, as I said, they'll be starting on the tyre. They said that does mean that Dylan Platt will be starting on the hard compound tyre. Going to be interesting. Obviously, most of the drivers in this Q3, well, all the drivers in this Q3 session should go on to the red wall tyre. So just to double check, yes, they are. No great surprise there. Okay, Guido, who are you going to call for pole and who are you going to call for the win?
Well, I think it's fairly easy to say that Dylan Platt's going to be pole. So I'm going to put a 5 on that.
Hey. Calm down, boy. Calm down.
Listen.
Calm down.
I'm still getting 10 off for you, so now I can use it.
You wish. Dream on. Okay, so Dylan Platt for pole. What about for the win?
That's I don't know. I just hope these guys keep it together. You know, I just the thing we want to see is would want to let us see is that 18 drivers start and 18 drivers finish. That's my real hope, and it doesn't really matter to me who wins. But if I have to say.
Just get on with it, man. Come on, Dylan Platt for pole. Who's for the win?
Matt Goodyear.
Matt Goodyear for the win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I can.
Okay, I'm going to go slightly different to you. I'm going to go Ross Milburn for pole.
Yes.
And Dylan Platt for the win.
Have you written it down?
I have written it down.
Okay, because I can't. In a minute, I can't remember it probably.
Okay, so that's what we're going with in this session. Everybody more or less out on track, apart from Callum White. He's currently in the pits. He's not rushing it, is he?
He's taking his time. Confidence, pure confidence.
Yeah, well, 10 minutes of the session now remaining. No laps set as yet. I'm just trying to see. Okay, let's go on board with Josh Diggles in the Williams. Currently on his first lap. Let's have a look. It's Ross Milburn, Ryan Lear, they're all behind him. Yeah, so it's Josh Diggles.
Who's second the first lap?
think it's Josh Diggles is the man in the first lap position. So, see what his opening lap will be. I suspect, obviously, it's going to be round about sort of 128, high to mid 128s, I would say.
Well, you said we were going to see 125s.
Well, we'll see a 126, I reckon. We will see, though. Oh, purple in the middle sector.
Yeah, he's the first runner.
True. But has he invalidated it now? So I think it was Ryan Lear. No, sorry, Ross Milburn.
Yeah, he's going for another one.
The guy's obviously pushing it. And Sean Street sets a provisional time there. It's a 127.3. Ross Milburn sets a 127.340. Sean Street 127.68. Jack Wilson 128.636. Ryan Lear coming over the line. That's a 132.5, not what he was looking for. Dylan. Oh, look at that. Look at that. 126.7.
Ooh, it's getting closer.
So just under 8 minutes remaining. So Dylan laying down the gauntlet there. Ross Milburn, though, not too far behind at this moment in time, only half a second off. Although that is quite a lot, but I'm sure he can make it up. So let's see. And Ryan Doran's in the pits. Matt Goodyear out on track. He's already invalidated his lap. Josh Diggles invalidated his. Callum White, he's just coming round now, decided to finally get out on the track. So this is his first lap that he's now setting. Coming down around turn 9. Doesn't exactly look like he's rushing it to me. No, he's treating it as another out lap. He's got his teammate Dylan Platt there just alongside. He just went past him.
Well, maybe we'll give him a tow.
He could give Dylan a tow, I guess.
Because there's 3 long straights here.
Yeah, it's very possible. They're both on winding up for a fast lap. So it could be that we might be seeing some cooperation there. Oh, I might just going out of 12, going very wide over the... Dylan Platt is very close in behind him. Oh, into the pits. That was, he nearly went into the back of him, actually. They're both into the pits. I don't know, they're both into the pits. It looks like Dylan Platt, he wanted Dylan Platt to lead the way into the pits. But Callum wanted to go in second. Okay, interesting.
Why?
Not too sure. Not too sure. I think that was a last minute.
Can tell it.
I think that was a last minute call on the team radio. Matt Goodyear coming in. He's validated his time. Ryan Doran out on track at this moment in time. He's on his out lap. Everyone else in the pits. Ryan Lear still out on track. Feels he can improve, but he hasn't. He's invalidated his lap. So Ryan Doran on his out lap at the moment. Now, I've got to say, 5 minutes, it's all a bit wishy-washy, this Q3 session so far, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not getting my head around this. I'm not sure what's going on.
It's almost like the sort of like holding back, not holding back, the thing is, it's very odd. It's very odd, I've got to say. Very odd.
Maybe they're just doing this so they beef up the stream a bit.
I have no idea. I have no idea. But then again, Giddo, I mean, we say this, but look, the guys ultimately at the end of the day, they're looking for the best conditions they can get out on that track. And if they feel that it isn't down there, if it isn't sort of, let's say, race ready, then they'd rather come into the pits, get a new set of boots, wait till there's a little bit more rubber down on the track, and then come out.
Just so that you have a little bit of time in Q3, and that's a tricky thing.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm saying ting.
The chicky ting? It's chicky ting. It's a chicky ting.
Ting.
It's a chicky ting.
My English is not improving there.
It's not, mate. It's not. But anyway, do carry on.
A chicky ting. I don't know if you know what I want to say. Well, in the end, it's just, as you said, a little bit different.
Yeah.
a little bit unorthodox.
Yeah, definitely. Ryan Doran now in his fast lap through sector 2. And Goodyear's on an out lap. He certainly needs to get a time in. So Ryan Doran coming down into 10 now.
Josh Diggles and Callum White are still not out. I have no idea.
No, there's 3 guys in the pits. Ryan Lear, Josh Diggles and Callum White. You know, it's still just under 4 minutes remaining, so I guess they got time. Well, saying that, sorry, you've got Lee Pratt, Sean Street, Ross Milburn and Dylan Platt all in the pits, so pretty much everyone's in the pits.
Oh, he invalidated
he's
it there.
invalidated it. Oh, he is not gonna be happy with that.
Oh, he saw that purple time and he thought, yes, I was there. Oh, and then the president.
Yeah, that is a gutter. Purple middle sector, but then mucked it up in sector 3. Matt Goodyear on his outlap now. Remember, he has not set a time as yet. He's look at that. He's trying to generate as much heat into those tyres as he possibly can. I wouldn't say it's necessarily the best way, but still. Let's go for it. And let's go on board with Matt Goodyear now for his fast lap. Critical, he sets a good lap here. What can he do?
What can he do? What's it gonna be?
Ooh, that was close out of 3 there, coming down to 4 now. Got to watch it as you lay down that power. 4 is another one here as well. Get it straight. Oh, look at that snapping! And he hasn't got the car straight. He's lining up for that corner. You watch someone like Phil Harris. He's in a straight line, runs over the rumble strip, nice straight line, and that's the problem. He's laying down the power, and as he's laying down the power, his wheel isn't straight, so therefore
it will generate
just
oversteer.
kicks the car out. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So coming down now to turn 11. Let's see how he does.
Nice.
Round 11 into 12. Good. Nice. Yeah, good. Solid delivery there into 13. Watch it on the exit again. Get straight before you lay down the power. Now. That's it. Good run here. He's made up for it now in this 3rd sector. Could be his fastest 3rd sector, actually. Look at this. This is looking pretty good at this moment in time. 127.5. Oh, that was good. 127.5 there.
That's not bad at all.
That's a good run there from Matt Goodyear. Sean Street is on an outlap. Ross Milburn on an outlap. Dylan Platt is on an outlap. Who's he got ahead of him? Looks like, is it Jack Wilson? Yes, it is Jack Wilson. He's on a slowdown though. So let's go with Dylan Platt. I think he may be the first of our front runners coming over the line. So he's looking now to get as much heat into these tyres. Watch him here, he'll be weaving, doing acceleration, brake, hard accelerate just to generate a bit of heat into those tyres. He's not weaving, he's just going nice and straight. Okay, fair enough. I stand corrected. He obviously feels they're quite up to temperature.
I thought you were talking about Josh Diggles as you did now, because he was weaving.
Yeah.
Just as you said.
Dylan Platt, no, he kept it nice and straight on the back one. So Dylan now opening it up. What can he do? He's already delivered a 126.7. I did say I expected to see a low 126, 125. I think he will get into those low 26. I think we're going to see a 126.4 or 3 or 4 actually out of Dylan. He's still purple that in the 1st sector. Purple in the 1st sector, so he's already laying it down. Oh, Jack Wilson's completed his run. He's currently provisional P5, although I suspect that will change. He'll probably drop down to P7 or 8.
Yeah, I'm now looking at Josh Diggles. He's in the hairpin, as you will.
Yeah. And purple in the middle sector as well from Dylan. Look at that, he's down 3.5 tenths already. I was predicting he'd be 4 to 5 tenths down. Sorry, 3 to 4 tenths down. So he's delivering on that at this moment in time. It is going to be a low 126.
Oh, he invalidated on the last piece.
126.295 from Dylan Platt. Ross Milburn coming over the line. What's he going to do? Oh, 127.1. Matt Goodyear, he's on the back straight. What's he going to do? Sean Street coming down over the line now. What's he going to do? A 127.4. Lee Pratt coming round. Let's see what the Ferrari driver can deliver here. Oh, 127.8.
Wow.
Only man yet to go across the line, Ryan Doran. And Matt Goodyear, he's already invalidated it, Ryan Doran, so that's it. He'll be starting in P9. Matt Goodyear now, the only man that can improve. He's on that start-finish straight, and he's out. No, sorry, well over, 144 there. So Matt Goodyear will be starting in that second row, P4. But Dylan Platt, what a run from him, 126.295. Well, first point to you, Guido.
No, I think we put something on that, bud. Yeah,
No.
You're right. That's the first. I thought it was an easy one.
First point to you.
He had so much control over his white tires again, and in third place in Q2.
Yeah.
And now in the red tire, it's unbelievable
what a
the
great
speed
run.
he gets.
I mean, what a great run. I mean, that is amazing. 126.2. I believe he's almost over a full second ahead of second place, but we'll just check that. No, just under a second, so 9 tenths ahead of Ross Milburn with a 127.1. Then he'll be starting in row 1, P2, alongside Dylan Platt. Then we have Sean Street, row 2, P3 in the McLaren. Alongside him in P4 will be Matt Goodyear in the Mercedes. Row 3, P5 will be Lee Pratt in the Ferrari. Alongside him will be Ryan Lear in the Haas. Row 4, P7, Jack Wilson in the Renault, and alongside him will be Callum White in the Red Bull. And row 5, P9, Ryan Doran in the Haas. Alongside him will be Josh Diggles, his teammate. So row 5 is a Haas lockout. Sorry, not a Haas. What I'm saying, Williams. Oh, no, it's not. I'm losing the plot there. Josh Diggles is Williams. So, sorry, Haas and then a Williams. I'm losing it.
That's okay. I don't know you any other way.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
good.
That's fair enough. Can't argue with that one. Okay, so the guys getting ready. I think they're going to have a little 5-minute sort of break for their essentials, etc. Guido, obviously you did call Dylan Platt for pole. You've called Matt Goodyear for the race win. I can understand where you're coming on that. He'll be starting, obviously, I think in that P4, I think it was, wasn't it? His position to start. Good starting position, certainly. But we did see, obviously, Dylan's going to be on the hard compound tyre. Pretty sure that the guys around him, there's going to be a couple on medium, but the rest will be on the Red Wall softs. We saw Dylan lose the lead of the race last week straight away, being on those hard compound tyres, and he could risk that again here today, couldn't he?
He could. But then again, this is a track with 3 long straights, and as you saw, he's got a lot of control over the way his car performs and handles. So there's a little bit more width on this track. Obviously, Australia is very hard to overtake, and it's very small and tight. So I think he will do a little bit better on this one.
So your confidence is high, effectively, then, in that case.
My confidence, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to say, I mean, I put Ross for pole. We didn't quite make it, as I say, 9 tenths out, effectively, that he was there. But I've put Dylan for the win, and I think Dylan will be looking at the win tonight. Obviously, he was very, very disappointed, I'm sure, last week with the result in Australia of going out. I think he's going to be looking to prove, and he's going to need to. If he's going to look to dominate this league as he did, this season as he did season 1, and it's so important, isn't it, to get the points down early in the season.
to build that sort of safety gap, really, because you never know what's going to happen as the season progresses.
No, you never know what's going to happen, and even personally, outside of the game, it's all about a form, about how it works at home. If you can be there, if something happens, you can't be there, and you just lose a lot of points there, because there will be guys waiting for that gap that you're not there, and will take those points off of you. So, and you never know what's going to happen, as you all know. But. Yeah. Yeah. It's minus, yeah. I think it's minus because I haven't really done long stints in training or long runs, so I don't know how long the tires will last. But I do know that the red tires are going to burn up really fast on this track because there are really high velocity bends on this one, and that will take off a lot of wear especially on those reds.
Yeah.
But then again,
if we go in reverse order, I mean, reds, what are we looking at? I mean, normally, again, red tyres, you'd say 15 to 20 laps. This circuit, you're probably going to be looking more like 10 to 12 laps, especially on the opening. Maybe, because those guys have also set laps on those tyres. So we could see people coming in as early as probably lap 8, couldn't we?
Yeah, definitely. Because they're already used.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's say, 15 laps for the softs. Medium tyres, we'd expect to go sort of mid-20s to 30. Again, here, I think we're probably going to see mid-20s as their highest. And then the hards, as you said, normally 40, but we're probably going to be looking around about the mid-30s for the hards on this circuit. Do you think, Guido?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're probably right on that. So it's going to be a gamble, but it's going to be interesting to see what strategies they will come up with.
I personally think Dylan's going for a hard to medium. So, one stop, hard to medium.
Yeah. Yeah, could be.
Or, you could go hard, soft, soft. I mean, that is another option here.
Soft, I don't know. Soft.
Well, start with the hards.
It is possible, but in the end, it all comes down to which fights do you get into? Do you get into fights?
Yeah.
Because if you run in the front, well, and that has to be taken into consideration because it's all down to that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is a fair comment. I mean, and as always, it does obviously depend on the incidents that you get involved in or not, as the case may be. Okay, so the guys are now lining up on the track for their processional lap. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run through the runners and riders. So Dylan Platt leading the way at this moment in time. He's going to be in that P1 position. So So he's going to be starting in that pole position. That's Dylan Platt. In second place, we have Ross Milburn.
Oh, you didn't do that.
Ross Milburn. He's in second place there. Third is the... where am I? Sean Street. Where the hell have I got him? Oh, there he is. Sean Street in that McLaren. Then we have Matt Goodyear in the Mercedes. We have Lee Pratt in the Ferrari. In sixth, Ryan Lear, but he's on the grid at this moment in time. Then we have 7, Jack Wilson in the Renault. 8 is Callum White in that Red Bull. 9 is Ryan Doran in the Haas. 10 is Josh Diggles in the Williams. 11 is JB Good in the Toro Rosso. 12 is Phil Harris in the Ferrari. 13 is Adrian Rich in the Renault. 14 is Thomas Cook in the Alfa Romeo. Then we have Carl Jackson in the Mercedes. He's in 15. 16 is Tony Foster in the McLaren. 17 is Chris Knight in the Alfa Romeo, and bringing up the rear of the field is Cameron Widdowson in the Williams. Okay, so all the guys now getting lined up on ready for that start. And this is where the pulse is racing, tensions, sweaty palms as they line up ready on the grid. Already going through the first few corners in their heads, I'm sure, a number of them as to what they're going to do. This is F1 Tonight UK, and we are about to start Season 2, Race 2 here at the Sakir International Circuit, the Bahrain GP. And they are off, and Dylan stays ahead of Ross Milburn. Sean Street already dropping down is Ryan Lear and Lee Pratt. And moving up is Jack Wilson. He's moves up to 5. Down 1 is Ross Milburn. Sean Street gets into 2. Oh, and a fight there between Josh Diggles and Dylan Platt. Oh, and they've all fallen behind. Collision there. Sean Street makes contact there. And I'm not too sure who it was with. He's already gone out. Ryan Doran as well. Oh, my goodness me. It's all happening at the back there. And we've got Ross Milburn has retired from the session. Oh, and it was all going horribly wrong. Round 2 and 3 for those guys into 2. But Dylan Platt has come out major winner here. He's already a second ahead of Lee Pratt, who's jumped up 3 places. Yes, 3 places from 5 to 2. And also Callum White has jumped up 5 places from 8 to 3. Jack Wilson up 3. 5, 7. Phil Harris is already up 7 places into P5. Chris Knight is up 11 places, Carl Jackson up 8, and it's all that's suffering is Matt Goodyear, Sean Street. They dropped right down there, lost 10 places. Thomas Cook, Ryan Lear. George trying to see if there's any damage on Sean Street. Yes, Sean Street has completely lost his front wing there. Oh, not quite lost it completely. He's certainly lost the front left wings and the winglet. Thomas Cook is off as well.
Thomas Cook, yeah, he's got damage as well.
He's got damage as well. So these guys are going to be coming into the pits, but Dylan Platt leading the way and is now 2 seconds ahead of Lee Pratt. So let's have a quick look here and see what tyres they're on. And that's White, because he's on the medium tyre, but Callum White is closing down. Oh no, Callum's into the pits. He's got damage as well. Yeah, he's got damage as well. So Jack Wilson assumes that P3 position in the Renault. He's followed by Phil Harris, who's now up to 4th place. That is phenomenal. Let's have a look at it. That is up 8 places for Phil Harris. But even better is Chris Knight, who's actually up 12 places.
Well, that's turn 1 for you there.
Yeah, and that's what kicked it all off, was that contact there with the McLaren. I think that was Sean Street that actually made the contact. Yes, because it was his front left.
Adrian Rich has fallen out. Adrian Rich has fallen out.
Oh no!
Yeah,
he's out. That was Adrian Rich, and that was out of turn 12 into 13. I think it was. Yeah, it was.
Safety car. Safety car.
It wasn't 13. Sorry, no, that was on the start-finish straight.
Oh, Ryan Lear.
On the turn 3. That was on turn 3, sorry.
Josh Diggles was disqualified. What is going on?
Yeah, we've already got 4
just got
out.
disqualified.
Yeah, Josh Diggles has been disqualified. Ryan Doran is out. Ross Milburn is out, and Jamie Good. So we've got 1 disqualification, and yeah, and now Adrian Rich is out as well.
The thing is, the safety car has now got the green light on, and you can overtake the safety car.
Yeah, I think there may have been a bit of confusion with regards to the safety car for those guys. And unfortunately, they've come up reverse. Jamie Good, Ross Milburn and Ryan Doran. And Ross Milburn is going to be absolutely gutted with that.
I think I can still record that, but I saw 3 cars standing behind the safety car on the end of the pit, on the end pit exit.
Yeah.
And I think the safety car had the green light on that moment, so they should have overtaken the safety car. Now that's a dangerous position there, because if you cross the line, you will get a penalty as well.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what that means in this game, because obviously they changed the frequency of the safety car coming out. It is a good thing that the safety car comes out more. It's more realistic, I think, but people really have to pay attention when the safety car comes out. And to be fair, we have had the same problem as well in NL.
Yeah, I think that's what the issue was. I think there were some guys in the pits that came out, and I think that may have been Josh Diggle's issues, that he was actually coming out of the pits behind the safety car when he got disqualified.
Yes.
And it sounds like that could well be a glitch then, from what you're saying, Guido.
I don't know if that's a glitch, but I just, it's a little bit difficult if you see a safety car in front of you, standing still, with a green light on, and you're in the pit exit. Yeah. So when do you make the choice to overtake there? Yeah. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. It sounds like that's what it was.
I've recorded the clip, so maybe we can see that later.
He's actually got done. He was behind the safety car, and he stayed behind the safety car, and he got disqualified for blocking the pit lane. And I think it is what he's saying. I think green lights were on. He could have gone past the safety car in the pit lane, but didn't realise it, stayed behind it, and then got disqualified for blocking the pit lane.
Oh, really? That is no, that's not good. That's not good. I would understand why you make a decision to stay out, stay behind it. I totally understand. Maybe I would do exactly the same, because it's just a little bit confusing. But the thing is, you have to look at the lights of the safety car. The safety car has 3 lights on it, and the middle one turns into yellow, as you can see, what blinks.
Yeah.
Oh, it is green. If it's green, you can overtake it.
Yeah. It is unfortunate, and I know Josh Douglas is not a happy bunny at this moment in time with regards to that.
No.
And understandably so, I've got to say.
Yeah. And then the carnage in the first corner, stuff always happens in the first corner. That's why we would want people to record their clips, the drivers to record their clips, so that it can be judged, as you can say, what is acceptable and what is not. Yeah. As you know, we drive under certain rules, and I think that makes it fun to drive in a league like this. But then again, the first corner doesn't win you the race.
No. That is very true indeed. So we're Dylan Platt at this moment in time. We're at the end of approaching lap 4. Oh, sorry, we are in lap 4, but approaching the end of lap 4, going into the third and final sector. I don't know if the safety car is actually going to be coming in this lap or not. So not too sure what's happening on that.
I don't know. Well, we're in lap 4.
Yeah, it's still a safety car. I think it's going to go. I think it's going to go to lap 5. Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it's going to go to lap 5. Let's see. No sign of the safety car coming in.
Yeah, the thing now is that your tires, as you saw in the queues, your tires will cool down very fast because they're driving slowly right now. So what will happen in the restart on turn 1 again?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So the safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap. So end of lap 5, and Dylan will be starting everybody off at that point. Going to be interesting. I've got to say, he's on the hard compound tyre. Lee Pratt just in behind him at this moment in time. Remember, Lee is well, started in P12, up 10 places. Was it P12 started? No, P11. Sorry, P11. So up 9 places as it stands already, and this is going to be interesting to see what Phil Harris can do. Up 9 places. Sorry, Lee Pratt. What am I saying? Lee Pratt. I do apologise. Lee Pratt is started in 4th, didn't he? So he's up 3 places. So Lee Pratt in that 2nd position. I was getting confused because Phil Harris is just in.
Pratt's up 3 places.
Yeah, he's in close behind him. So Phil Harris,
9 places. He's up 9 places.
9 places. No, he's up 8 places. I think he started P11. Phil Harris.
No, I have the.
Was it P12? P12. Sorry. Yeah, he did. Yeah. So up 9 places. Phil Harris. He's in that P3 position. All very 3 competent drivers. Phil's on the hard compound tyre as well as Dylan Platt, so yeah, this is going to be very interesting to see how they actually kick this off, I've got to say.
Lee Pratt is on the... Yeah, Phil Harris is on the white walls, and Lee Pratt is on the mediums.
So Dylan's backing them up majorly, getting ready. He's really still backing them up. He's not letting them go easily. He's waiting for that safety car to get in, and he's, look at this, he's really backing the back up here. Now he's gone now, and Lee Pratt is up behind him. Got to get in close with him. Phil Harris just in close behind Lee Pratt as well. Then we've got Chris Knight in the Alfa Romeo, and then Tony Foster's in that P5, and Phil Harris looking to make the move on his teammate on that start-finish straight, coming down towards turn 1. He's side by side with him. Lee just giving him a little nudge there, saying, I'm here. He's looking to have a look. Yeah, gets in through. So Phil Harris moves up into 2nd. Lee Pratt is in 3rd. Chris Knight stays in 4th. Cameron Widdowson is up into 5th. Matt Goodyear is up into 6th. Ryan Lear drops down to 7. So a lot of guys getting a good starts there, moving up. Cameron Widdowson certainly doing well. Ryan Lear picked up some penalty points there. Looks like 3 points I think he picked up. So Cameron Widdowson, as I say, he's up into 5. Chris Knight is in 4. Lee Pratt 3. Phil Harris 2. And Dylan Platt. Now, lap 6, they're back underway effectively. They're going to get that heat into those tyres. Dylan had a good 1.5 second gap, I think, before that safety car. But he's managed to keep it as well. Look at this. I mean, he's 1.1 ahead of Phil Harris.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. That was a great restart. The Ferraris were fighting already in the first corner, so that was good to see.
Yeah. Although to be fair, I think Lee didn't force his hand too much when Phil made the move on him. But now this is the question: how deep can these guys go? And Phil Harris is almost probably going to be duplicating Dylan Platt. He's going to stay on his tail as much as he can. Pit stop here, relatively fast, isn't it?
Sorry, I just saw some ghosting there. That was weird.
Okay.
That's probably something that shouldn't have happened.
I don't know who you're on board with. I'm with Dylan Platt, just on to Phil Harris now.
I'm on Matt Goodyear, and I saw him get torpedoed by
Thomas Cook.
Yeah, to Thomas Cook, and he went right through the car. So I recorded the game clip as well. I don't know, there's something glitching right here.
Well, we'll see what happens on that. Could be connection issues. Phil Harris 1.2 now behind Dylan Platt. Chris Knight has dropped down behind there because Lee Pratt has actually dropped down into 4th place. So clearly Lee had an issue there. Chris Knight's overtaken him. 2.2 now behind Phil Harris. Lee Pratt just over a second behind Chris Knight, and you've got Cameron Widdowson in that P5 position. He's on the soft compound tyres. He's going to be definitely pushing Lee Pratt, and he's already doing so. He's only 6/10, was 5/10 off the back of him. So he's going to be looking to push that Ferrari. He's got Matt Goodyear behind him on a set of mediums, then Thomas Cook, and then Callum White all on the mediums. Sean Street is on the hards. Kyle Jackson is on the mediums. Jack Wilson on the hards. Ryan Lear on the mediums. And Tony Foster bring up the rear at the moment in 13. We've already lost Adrian Rich, Jamie Good, Ross Milburn, Ryan Doran and Josh Diggles. So 5 cars already out. We are on lap 7 of 57. 13 cars remaining. We are on board with Cameron Widdowson as he's trying to close down that gap to Lee Pratt. But if anything, that gap is opening up by the looks of it.
Yeah, the gap is opening up. And then the strange thing about this race is we got 3 hard compounds. So the hardest compounds, the slowest compounds in the front race. Yeah. That's great.
Thomas Cook spins the car, and that was a very, very odd incident there. Can't quite figure out what happened there, but spun the car, got it back under control. So he's dropped down into P7.
I don't know, but it seems to be that Thomas Cook's car is having trouble because he's bumping into people and he's going through cars, and there's something wrong there.
Right, let's have a quick look, see if we've got anyone close in behind him.
He's right on the tail of Matt Goodyear.
Right on the tail here of Matt Goodyear as they're coming out. Oh, Matt Goodyear spins out!
Oh, he spins out.
Oh, he's managed to maintain it though. No, he just spun.
Oh.
So Matt Goodyear lost it round 12, spinning out. Well, on the exit of 11, round to 12. Well, he's dropped down into that P10 position. Dylan Platt setting the next fastest lap, provisional fastest lap, 1:32.9. He is absolutely tanking at this moment in time. So some of these back runners definitely having issues. Interesting, I've got to say. Especially the big compound tyre. These guys, as you say, on the hards, not only is he on the hard, he's also setting the fastest laps. I mean, what's going on here? Either my
Xbox is doing strange stuff, or this is unbelievable that the hardest compounds are the front runners. Well, then again, Dylan did that last season on the hardest compound being the front runner.
All three. I mean, okay, we've had some incidents, obviously, to open up this race. But it's very interesting, as you say, that the hardest compound tyres on the track, effectively, and there are a couple of others that are on the hard, like Sean Street and Jack Wilson, but they are leading this race. But to me, it's not only is he leading the race, but he's actually setting the fastest laps.
His fastest lap, yeah.
He's just so comfortable on these harder compound tyres. It really does make such and it gives him the opportunity to go so much deeper as well. I mean, Phil Harris 1.7 seconds behind. Chris Knight is now 5.3 seconds behind Chris Knight. And Lee Pratt now 7/10 off the back of Chris Knight. So Lee Pratt looking to regain that third place back. Cameron Widdowson's only 7/10 behind him, but you can see there's a real train here behind Lee Pratt. You've got Lee Pratt, Cameron Widdowson, Thomas Cook 3/10, Callum White just over 1.2 seconds. Then you've got Sean Street 6/10 off the back of him. So all these guys here from 4 down to 8, 4 or 5 cars there, all still pretty close, it's got to be said.
Yeah.
Lee Pratt looking to try and get a look into turn 1 on Chris Knight, closing him down now as they come round 3. And Chris managed to navigate those turns a little bit faster. So I'm wondering if that's where the issue is. That's Ferrari. I think it's a straight line speed on this Ferrari, but the setup in that Alfa Romeo is clearly a little bit nimbler through those corners.
Nimbler?
Nimbler.
What's nimbler? I've never heard of nimbler.
Nimble is something that's easily sort of moves easily without too much problem. Moves quite
more agile.
Agile, yeah, nimble, agile.
There you go, nimble.
Yeah, so you never learn, Guido. You never learn.
Wicked. Even at 26, I'm not too old to learn.
Excuse me, I just choked on the drink there. What did you say?
No, nothing.
You wish.
Yeah.
Okay, Lee Pratt is losing now again to Chris Knight. Chris Knight's clearly opened up the valves there. Let's have a look. Wow. Yeah, this is interesting.
And
Okay,
another one.
who's off? Dylan Platt, another fastest lap. Well, I was about to say, I thought somebody was off there. Yeah,
No,
he is progressively setting the fastest laps as this race goes
Well,
on.
those
Pit
tires
stop
must heat up.
window, 18 seconds. Thereabouts here, I think. I'm pretty sure it is, yes. So 18 seconds. I'm just having a look here because, I mean, Cameron Widdowson, he's already done 10 laps on the soft tyres. Now, albeit, obviously, with the soft compound tyres, we have had the safety car out, but he's not going to be able to go too much deeper on those soft compound tyres. He's going to have to come in fairly shortly, I would have thought.
Yeah, he already had a little bit of problems with the speed of Thomas Cook.
Yeah.
He had to let him pass him because I don't think he could control the car. But then, when is he going to make the decision to come in? Because those tires must be really done.
Well, he has had the safety car out, so that would have helped him. He's probably got about another 2 or 3 laps maybe left in those. The interesting thing here is that he's got Sean Street starting to edge in behind him now. He's already gained a 10th in about a quarter of a lap, so let's see how he does at the end of this lap. And he's definitely gaining on him, Sean Street. He's definitely reeling him in, so Cameron Widdowson's going to have to make a decision pretty soon as to when he comes in and what he's going to go on to. I've got to say, I think he could go on to the hard compound tyres, but I think it's more likely he's going to go on to the mediums.
Yeah, because I think maybe he's a little bit of a guy that wants a little bit more control.
Sorry, Thomas Cook just made the move on Lee Pratt at the end of the start-finish straight into turn 1. So Thomas Cook is now up into P4, and Lee Pratt is looking to try and challenge him as they come around for... Oh, look at that! Chris Knight's gone wide! Out of 4, he's coming back onto the track. Thomas Cook's got ahead of him. Lee Pratt has now got ahead of him. So Chris Knight has dropped down into 5th place as he lost it coming round to 4. Lee Pratt is now up into 4th place, but Thomas Cook stays in that 3rd place, and Lee Pratt is really trying to close him down, but just is unable to. He is on slightly fresher tyre. Oh, lock up there from Lee Pratt coming round 9 into 10. This is Lee Pratt just doesn't seem to be feeling it at this moment in time. He's made a few errors and fallen behind there. He's just doesn't seem to be getting into the flow of this race as yet.
How many laps did he stay behind the safety car? You know, it gets to you a bit.
3 laps, 4 laps. Yeah, 3 laps. I think it was nearly 4.
Yeah, maybe he needs to get a little bit more into the rhythm, the feel. Tire getting warmer, getting a little bit more grip.
He's definitely yo-yoing at the moment. He needs to concentrate on getting ahead of Thomas Cook, certainly. But Alfa Romeo, great job at the moment. P5 and P3 with Thomas Cook. Thomas, I've got to say, he does make a move. He's rather reminiscent of a few drivers when they start the season sort of early doors, going all hell for leather. And Thomas Cook is definitely one of those all hell for leather drivers, isn't he?
Yeah. I thought he was looking a little bit wild in the beginning, but that was probably because I saw him going right through a Mercedes, ghosting, but then again, he's climbing up the ladder pretty quickly, though.
Yeah, definitely is making the move there. Phil Harris, though, he's dropped up 4 seconds behind Dylan Platt now. And we're on lap 13. I mean, Dylan has been setting progressively the fastest laps. But again, Phil Harris, although he's in that 2nd place, he's just not able to catch up to Dylan at this moment, is he?
No, he's not. Dylan has an extraordinary pace right now with these tires. And I think Phil needs to drive his own race. He needs to keep the gap between Thomas Cook and behind him, and just do his own thing. I don't think it's...
Look at that, another fastest lap, 1:32.6, I think that was.
That's unbelievable. No, I don't think there's any... it doesn't... there's no use in winding yourself up and trying to get closer. Just drive your own race and then we'll stay in that P2 position.
Cameron Widdowson still battling it out on track around the back runs, but he is getting overtaken. Callum White just made the move on him.
Yeah.
So he's now
nice move.
He's definitely losing pace now, isn't he? He's just falling behind. He's down into P8 now, Cameron Widdowson. Callum White making a move on him, and Callum White's on 12 lap old mediums as well. He just doesn't seem to be finding the pace or the grip now as well on these soft tyres.
Cameron Widdowson needs to get back. He needs to go in.
Yeah,
he's got no grip. He's really having problems, and he can't get the power to the tarmac right there, and I think he's just losing a lot of time every lap, and there's no use in staying out.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree, and I really do think he's going to go onto the mediums. Yeah, he could go onto the hards, but I don't think that's necessarily going to help him once it all straightens out. And Dylan setting again another fast lap, but 1:32.4 this time.
Surprise!
Yeah,
he's been proved every lap.
So let's see, Cameron Widdowson going wide there. Is he coming in? No, he's staying out.
He's staying out. Why?
Well, I don't know. I want to stay on board him just in case. Been a bit of a carb here, but yeah, I just don't get it. I really don't. He's got Matt Goodyear now closing down in 3/10, so they're coming down into turn 1, and he goes, Matt Goodyear there nearly cutting into the back, had to go wide left into turn 1, and now he's got to make up that time again. He's dropped now a second behind. He was 2/10 behind Cameron Widdowson. And Callum White is up into P7. Chris Knight has overtaken Sean Street, moved up into P5. Sean Street now down in 6, so a bit of a battle going on here. Sean Street obviously made the move on him as well, so Chris Knight coming back at him. Sean Street closing down again now on Chris Knight in the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the times of Cameron Widdowson, and his lap times are 9, 10, and 11, lap 11, 1:34 highs, and then from 13 on, 12, 13, 14, they're at 1:35 highs. So he's.
Oh, sorry, Sean Street coming back round 11 and 12. Out of 12, gets back ahead of Chris Knight. So that was really ballsy work there from the McLaren driver as they're coming round 11 and 12. But I don't think Chris Knight is going to leave it there. He's going to be looking to come back at him. And he's using up his ERS here, Chris Knight, in a major way. And I don't think he's going to be able to close down that gap.
He's got DRS though.
He has got DRS, but even so.
He's closing. So DRS right now, yeah, there's no use to because it's a straight.
Sean Street has got plenty in the tank at this moment in time, sir. Sir.
Nice straight lines.
Got his work. Yeah, nice straight lines. That's what you've got to look at. Now, Phil Harris now 5.5 seconds behind Dylan Platt. Thomas Cook 7.6 seconds to Phil Harris. So these gaps are really starting to open up now. It's only Cameron Widdowson at the moment on track, trying to battle it out with Callum White. Cameron Widdowson, Callum White. It's really difficult to say that. Anyway, Cameron Widdowson is trying to battle it out with Callum White at this moment in time. He's 5/10 off the back of him. But why is my question? Why?
Exactly.
I just don't get it.
You can overtake on the straight and then you lose it on the corners. You don't have grip.
Yeah. Well, clearly he feels that he does have enough grip left in him. And let's see if he comes down. Oh, dearie me. Callum White going very wide.
Again, I saw this before.
Yeah.
Going wide on that corner.
Yeah. It's round that turn 13, out of 12 into 13, going very wide there. And do you know what? Hamilton's staying out.
I have no idea.
I have a horrible feeling this could well end in tears.
Yeah, but this is a strange race. He's making a move.
Ooh, that was contact there, wasn't it? No.
No.
It was close though.
That was oversteer.
Oh right. So sorry, I was just cutting to Tony Foster as he was closing in, I think, on Jack Wilson, but it looks like he may have lost it on the track somewhere because it's now right behind him. Ryan Lear moves up as Matt Goodyear comes into the pits. What's he going to go on to? And Matt Goodyear's going on to a set of softs. He's looking to try and charge through this field
Sean
if he
Street's
can.
getting closer for a fight.
Yeah, 7/10 now off the back of Lee Pratt. And Lee Pratt 4 seconds off the back of Thomas Cook.
Oh, and Jack Wilson's also going for a fight.
Jack Wilson 6/10 at the moment off back of Mercedes and Carl Jackson. And coming round 10 on the back straight. Jack Wilson taking in nice big gulps of high octane fumes from the back of that Mercedes ahead of him.
You know what I'm missing?
What are we missing?
Sparks.
Yeah. Do you know what? You're absolutely right.
Out.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, if you actually watch the real world coverage, there are an awful lot of very bright sparks as you go around this track from the cars bottoming out, bottom plates on the cars. It's a bit like a firework display, actually.
Yeah.
So Jack Wilson looking to try and close in on Carl Jackson and Mercedes. He's reining him in now as they're coming down into turn 1.
Lee Pratt's also making a move.
No, he's not. Yeah, Jack Wilson can't quite make it, can't quite get up there. Lee Pratt still 7/10 off the back of Sean Street. He's not able, he's closing it. Oh, and Jack Wilson right up behind Carl Jackson now as they're coming through that second sector. Down towards turn 8. Oh! Carl Jackson going off there, losing it as he was coming round 7. Well, out of 6 into 7. Now round 8, and yeah, I think that's pretty confident. Tony Foster took advantage of that as well, so he's moved up into P9. Jack Wilson is in P8, and Callum White is in P7.
I have to say, mate, this is a real strange, wicked race. There's
it is a
every
great
corner,
race.
there's something going on. People flying everywhere. This is
that's what you want to see.
Race.
Let's get back to the leader, Dylan Platt, leading this race on lap 19 of 57. We are a third of the way through this race now. Phil Harris, 6.8 seconds down the road from him, is in P2. Thomas Cook in the Alfa Romeo is in P3. Carl Jackson coming back at Cameron Widdowson, it looks like. Yes, he is, and yeah, he's not happy with that. Yeah, okay, I went off, but I'm coming back at you now. Look at this, down towards turn 1, side by side. Is he going to get his nose ahead of the Williams? Yes, he does. Can he keep it? Yes, he does. Carl Jackson gets ahead, and Cameron Widdowson is on a fresh set of tyres, which explains how Carl Jackson caught up with him so quickly. So he did come into the pits, and he's got onto another set of softs.
I have no idea.
I don't get that.
I have no idea.
I really don't
Matt
get that.
Goodyear also has new softs.
Yeah, Matt Goodyear did come into the pits as well. He went onto a set of softs. So he's looking to charge through as well. I guess it's a call you have to make. You're at the back of the pack. What are you going to do? You try and put on the fastest set of tyres so you can try and get through.
Penalty, though.
Yeah, Cameron Widdowson just picks up 3-second penalty, as you say there. I think that's what they're looking at. So both Cameron Widdowson and Matt Goodyear thinking, right, okay, let's just go for it. Thomas Cook, in the meantime, sets a provisional fastest time. So Thomas Cook is now the man with the fastest time. He's on the...
Oh, there we go. Carl Jackson, he hit the barrier. He's missing the front nose.
Yeah, Carl Jackson has lost his front nose there. Trying to push that little bit too hard. And again, that was round 12 into 13, wasn't it?
Yeah. Thomas Cook's having issues with his connection. He's having issues.
Okay. Yeah, he has, because he keeps disconnecting and connecting.
Yeah, but as you say, it was going back to that.
Look at this, Sean Street. Side by side contact there as they were coming down round 7.
Yeah, it's a really difficult.
Into 8.
For the people at home, as you say,
Yeah.
when you cut out of the game, your car will be overtaken by AI.
Yeah, Thomas Cook is currently out, so Thomas Cook is not connected at this moment in time.
Exactly, and those AIs are a real pain to drive for because they will go left and right and drive basically in your way.
Yeah. Now, the thing here to bear in mind, Guido, is that obviously with F1 tonight, if you disconnect, your car is not greyed out. It is still very, very much solid. It's just the AI takes control.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, and I think the AI is set back to 40. So your car will not be faster than you, obviously, because these drivers are driving on a level that's probably 100 or more.
Yeah.
So you will not gain on that, but they are a pain to drive against.
Yeah, because they don't make it easy for you.
No, they will get in your way and be slightly a little bit over-aggressive.
Sorry, Lee Pratt, in the meantime, has come into the pits and he's fitted a hard compound tyre. So Lee Pratt coming out on track in P8 and he's gone for a fresh, hard compound. Now, this could take him right up into the high 40s. So it's going to be an interesting call. I'm going to keep an eye on that one, how Lee actually does with that. Jack Wilson is in 7, 6 is Callum White, 5 is Thomas Cook. Chris Knight, his teammate in the Alfa Romeo, is 4. We've got a VSC is out. Yeah,
what
VSC,
happened?
don't know. Kyle Jackson. Yeah, Kyle Jackson, but that's a bit of a late response for Kyle Jackson's DNF. Matt Goodyear is disconnecting as well, so we've got disconnection from Matt Goodyear as well, so we could be having connection issues, but in the meantime we've got a VSC, so VSC is on there. Now VSC, to explain to our viewers at home who may not be aware of it, you have the safety car, which is the physical car that comes out on the track, and then you have the VSC, the virtual safety car. It's just been disconnected now, so we are back racing, and the VSC is basically you have to stay within your sector time, so you have to maintain the gap to the person ahead of you and keep it the same effectively. Very, very difficult, not fun, don't like it. No. So that's my opinion anyway.
No, yeah, I agree. It's more difficult to drive on a VSC than on a normal safety car.
Yeah. And also, it doesn't bring anything to it. I mean, okay, it keeps the race flowing, but you want to see a physical safety car out there because you want to see an actual restart. You want to see the guys, you know, get line astern again and then go for it again.
Yeah, but then again, the thing is there. Maybe you can take advantage of it, but maybe you can't. And it's staying at one pace is difficult, and it's not really my cup of tea to drive behind or drive at a VSC.
Yeah. We are on board at the moment with Thomas Cook. He's currently P5 in the Alfa Romeo, and he's got his teammate Chris Knight just ahead of him on track. So Alfa Romeo currently P4 and P5 on the track. And I don't know, is Thomas Cook looking to make a move in it? Was he just like staying in close behind? I'm not too sure. He's certainly
he's making a move.
Have a pace. Yeah, he's got the DRS, spins out, gets a nice little tow from his teammate, leads down into turn 1. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Oh! Was that contact with his teammate? I don't know. I think there may have been contact there.
I think so too. Looked like that.
Chris Knight. I think Chris just gave him a little tap as they were coming round 1. A little sort of little nod there, and seemed to push him aside. So Thomas now drops back down to P5. He's not going to be best pleased with his teammate on that one, I think.
I would be pissed.
Yes, you could
Excuse
well
my
be.
French.
Matt Goodyear setting a 1:31.9 in the meantime in the Mercedes. So those soft tyres are helping him out. He's got ahead of Tony Foster. Tony Foster, what's happened to Tony Foster? He seems to be dropping down there. He's on a fresh set of hards, that's what it is, and obviously he's looking to try and get the bit of temperature into those. So Ryan Lear and Matt Goodyear both getting past him. Let's have a look. Cameron Widdowson, he's 6.5 seconds off the back of Lee. Oh, and he loses it round 10. Oh, nearly goes into the barrier there. Cameron Widdowson losing it round 10, and I've got to say, I don't think it matters what tyres he goes on. He's just not in the flow on this track tonight.
Oh, he's going wide.
Right.
No, this is...
He's just not in the flow, is he?
Yeah, it's difficult if you can't find your rhythm.
Yeah, and he definitely doesn't seem to be finding his rhythm here this evening. So Cameron Widdowson not having, I think, the race that he would like to have, unfortunately. But sometimes that's just the way it is. Lee Pratt, in the meantime, he's in that P8 position as he came out from the pits on those hard compound tyres. We do have a yellow flag.
Spin.
And who's that?
It's the Alfa Romeo again. P6.
Chris Knight. Yeah, so that's Chris Knight spinning off round.
Oh,
no, sorry. That was Callum White there who actually came off the track. That's what that yellow flag was for. Had to be careful joining the track again there, Callum. Obviously had to let Chris Knight through, even though it was for position. No choice there. Have to come back safely onto the track. He did think about it though. You could see the thought was there, wasn't it?
I thought, look at this, he's going to make another move.
Well, round 11 now. This is what we saw earlier on.
Yeah, he gave it up.
Lovely.
He gave it up.
Yeah,
Very
he
good.
gave it up. Yeah, he did give it up. So Callum White. Oh, but he goes wide again.
He touched the curve.
Goes wide out of 12 into 13 again.
Again. But obviously, when they spin, they spin up the temperature of the tires, and so they're not totally cooled down. And then when you start racing again, like they are doing, you could get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris Knight's going in.
Chris Knight's coming into the pits. Now that's interesting. He's on the hard compound tyre. He's only done 23 laps on those.
Yeah, but maybe it's just enough to lose control. So I think it's a good call to come in.
Yeah. What's he going on to though? That's the question. He's going on to a set of Red Bull soft tyres.
Softs. Yeah, he's going to go and catch up with the front.
So Chris Knight going on to the Red Bull soft tyres there.
That's a long pit stop.
23, yeah, it was a long. I think he had a little. I don't know if he had a new nose or not, but no, he didn't.
I didn't see it.
So Chris Knight coming out on a set of soft compound tyres. We've seen some of the drivers pit. Now that's on 23 laps on the hard compound tyres. Our race leader is now on his 25th lap. Phil Harris is just coming around to start his 25th lap.
Fight in the back.
Yeah, that's Ryan Lear on Tony Foster. So looking to close him down. Round 4. Into that second sector now. This is where I think Ryan should close him down, but he's not. He's losing time. Tony's very nimble through that second sector there in that McLaren. And Ryan Lear in the Haas not able to take advantage of it at this moment in time. He's going to be waiting to stay on him and basically get those DRSs here. Is he just disconnected? I've just seen him jump.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange and wobbly.
And, he's in the barrier. What's going on here?
And he's
definitely glitching out. There's definitely some glitching going on here. VSC is out, and that was for Ryan Lear going into that barrier. Now that is very odd because he was right on the back of Tony Foster there, and then all of a sudden he was 2 cars behind him, and then he was into the barrier. Then he was on the then he was on track. Then he was in the barrier. So definitely some technical issues going on here. I don't know if it could be their connection or what's going on, but definitely some warping going on.
Yeah. For the people watching, sometimes I I say there's a fight in the back. That's because Woods and I are basically on 2 different camera types, and we're all watching a different screen.
So just going with Thomas Cook at the moment because he's reining in Jack Wilson.
Oh, what was that?
Thomas Cook closing down on Jack Wilson as they're coming round 11.
Oh, wide. No.
He's right on his tail. He's definitely going to look to make the move on him. Certainly out of 12 into 13 and on the exit of 13. He's got that there. Look at this now.
Yeah, he's going to take him here. He should be.
Well, Jack Wilson's got good straight line speed, but it's a straight line speed of that Renault. He's going to have the DRS, obviously, once we come round 14 into 5th out of 50. Oh, nearly. Got to watch that. He's got the DRS now.
Yeah, that's it.
So Thomas Cook makes the move.
I'm going to stay in the run
on Jack
see
Wilson.
what happens here.
Gets ahead of him, moves up into, or back up into that P4 position.
Oh!
Jack Wilson trying to come back if he can.
Thomas Cook is having issues with his connection again because I see him. Oh! Somebody's standing still there.
That's Jack Wilson, is it? No, who is that? It's Ryan Lear. Ryan Lear has just stopped in the track, and that's in a very, very precarious position there.
Why did he? Did he park the car there?
I have no idea. We've got a yellow flag, sector 1 and 2, and that was for Ryan Lear. And he's been disqualified. Yeah, he has been disqualified. I've got to say, I'm not surprised by that because he was literally stopped in the middle of the track.
Yeah, I understand. I have no idea what's going on. Let's put that first. But if it comes to that part that you want to really quit this, don't do it on the middle of the track.
Yeah, but I don't know. I really don't know. But he was definitely parked there. It wasn't AI because the AI would have kept the car moving. Dylan Platt. I think that was Dylan Platt, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Dylan Platt. Nearly going into the back there. Yeah, not good. Really not good at all.
We're going to have to see what happened there because it's, there's something definitely wrong. He was having trouble with the... I don't know, was it his connection as well? Or...
I don't know, but
I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things here.
But I think that was, to be fair, I don't think that was Ryan's fault actually. That because the AI would have had this assumed control of his car at that point, wouldn't it? Because he'd been disqualified. So the AI had slowed the car right down, and Dylan Platt almost ploughing into the back of him. Not that it makes a great deal of difference for Dylan at this moment in time. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. But he's leading the race by 11.7 seconds. He's progressively pulling out that gap to Phil Harris, who's still in that P2. Sean Street is up to P3. Thomas Cook is P4. 5 is Jack Wilson. 6 is Lee Pratt. 7 is Cameron Widdowson. Callum White is 8. Chris Knight is 9. Tony Foster in the points is 10. And Matt Goodyear in the Mercedes is 11. Well, I mean, not quite what we were expecting, I've got to say. I'm already out of it because my race winner, Ross Milburn, went out earlier. But Dylan definitely dominating at this moment in time, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely dominating. 28 laps on the harder compound tires and still going strong. He's not setting the fastest laps now, but it's just he's got so much control over this car, as well as Phil and look at this, 3 white wall tires still at the front. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I've got to agree. It is a little bit. It's a little bit crazy, got to say, but they are still leading the way. Phil Harris, as I said, he's in that second place. And Phil, I mean, you said, do your own race, and that's very much what Phil's doing there, isn't it?
Oh, well, there you go. That's it. Do your own race, and and take full advantage of the strategy you think you need, and it usually comes into play at the back of the race. Then it will show what your strategy does for your team, and it's all down to your own thing, and don't get crazy with. Obviously there's a lot of frustration in these games, and as you see, the connection keep falling out, and then again, when you get back, you have to keep your composure, stick with it, do your own race,
and that is the thing, isn't it? I mean, incidents will happen during the course of the race, and it does break your concentration, it does make you see red, it does make you want to put your foot down, but ultimately, control is the thing. You've got to control, you've got to get...
That's the difficulty with these 100% races.
It is. Well, when I was commentating with Adrian, we'd often talk about the rhythm of the track, the flow of a track. It's almost like like a dance routine, and it is very much like that. It has to be said. And if you get out of that flow, it can have disastrous consequences for your race.
Yeah, and if it gets disturbed by something other than your own control, that means losing connection, or having somebody hit you or whatever. In the end, a fight gets you out of your rhythm because you need to drive in a different way. Yeah. But it's that's a part of the game. But when you start losing it because of connection failures, then it's really, really frustrating.
Yeah. And it's technical issues. I mean, as much as in the real world they have technical issues.
Yeah.
In the e-motorsport world, we also have technical issues.
Well, there you go.
We are on board at this moment in time with Lee Pratt, who is now closing in on the back of Jack Wilson. His favourite target, Thomas Cook, is ahead of Jack at this moment in time, so I'm sure he's going to be looking to try and close down to him as well. Jack Wilson, interestingly, is on 27 old set of hard compound tyres, whereas Lee Pratt is on a relatively fresh set of which are 10 laps old. So this is interesting to see the competition between these two, and it could give us some idea as to maybe how deep our race leaders will go on those hard compound tyres.
Yeah. Look at this. They're fighting on the harder compounds now. Almost everybody is driving with hard compounds. Only 3 cars on the softer compounds.
And those guys, it's because they want to make up time.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder, because obviously I have to race Thursday, what my strategy is going to be. And I have to consult with my teammate on that.
And again, this is, I guess you could say it's a bit of an advantage, not an advantage, but it gives you a good idea from a point of view of the league as to, what possible setups and strategies you might be looking at. Look at this, Lee Pratt looking to make the move. Round 11 and 12 on Jack Wilson. Gets alongside him, doesn't make the move. He's going to try and see if he can get out there. But look, Jack goes wide, but Lee goes a little bit wide as well. Not quite as much. He has closed that gap down. It's now 3/10. In the meantime, fastest lap set by Thomas Cook with a 1:30.7. But Lee Pratt is closing down on Jack Wilson. He's on the straight. Jack trying to break that toe if he can. Oh, he's going into the pits. Jack Wilson is into the pits. 27 laps into the pits. Lee Pratt takes that P5 position. And he's now got Thomas Cook 14.3 seconds down the road. That'll be interesting. 7 laps on the soft. I think he's more likely to catch him when he pits rather than on track. But, well, anything can happen. So, let's see. Sean Street, he's in that P3 position, 21 seconds behind our race leader. Phil Harris is now 13.6 seconds behind Dylan Platt, and Dylan Platt is our race leader. He is on his 32nd lap 33 of this race. The question now is, when are they going to come in? I mean, they are the 3 remaining drivers on their original tyres. We've seen somebody come in at 23 laps off the hard. We've just seen, who was it? Not Lee Pratt, sorry. Who was it? Sorry, Jack Wilson come in after 27 laps on his hard compound tyres. They're on 32. How much deeper can they go, do you think?
I cannot say because it's. I really have no idea how they're going to stretch this.
Well, I mean, we were saying earlier, obviously with relation to the track, obviously, you know, it's not favourable to the wear of the tyres. We were saying 35 laps. If you take into account the laps that they've done already on these when they were qualifying, they're probably round about that mark now, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Well, we will see. The next few laps will tell us whether they can go deeper or whether they'll be coming in.
Sector 2, yellow flag. Sector 3.
Jack Wilson. BSC is out. Jack Wilson has gone off, and I have no idea where that was.
And the car, Jack, he's left the session. Chris Knight is driving slowly.
Yeah, well, it's VSC, isn't it? So that's probably why.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I didn't see the VSC yet.
So, no idea, unfortunately, where Jack Wilson went off, and we're not likely to see the remains of his car on the track at this moment in time now. So, another DNF. And I suspect, though, that was probably round Sector 2. Although I cannot be certain.
It said Sector 2, Sector 3?
Oh, I don't know. I thought that was earlier. It said Sector 2, Sector 3.
Maybe it's
we are green light. We are
band.
green light. So we are back racing. And we are on board with Dylan Platt, who at this moment in time is pretty much dominating this race. We are on lap 34 of 57. 23 laps remaining. This is F1 Tonight UK Season 2, Round 2 here at the Sakhir International Circuit in Bahrain. And I've got to say, this race has delivered so far. It has been, it's all been happening, Guido, isn't it? It's all been happening.
Oh man, we had DNFs, we have DSQs, and we have white tires that'll go on to the back of the race.
Yeah. Well, Dylan Platt starting, or rather on his 35th lap at this moment in time. 34 laps he's already done, plus he's qualified, so I suspect he's probably done about 37 laps at least on those hard compound tyres. But equally, so is Phil Harris. He's 15.7 seconds, and Dylan Platt is slowly but surely pulling out a gap. Now, if he stays out any longer, he could actually pull out a gap where he could potentially get in and out ahead of Phil Harris now.
Yeah, he could. Well, he lost it. Dylan Platt lost it.
Yeah, definitely lost it there. Phil Harris has a window now to Sean Street. Sean Street's 22.8 seconds behind him, so certainly Phil Harris can come in and pit and get out ahead of Sean Street, so at least maintain that P2. And again, look at that, Dylan Platt going very wide out of 11. Near yellow flag there, and he is losing it again. He's got a flat.
He's got a flat tire.
Oh my goodness me! Yeah,
left rear,
left rear is out, and he's got to take it very carefully. Now this is disastrous because Phil Harris has spun out as well when overtaking. So Phil Harris has actually spun out as well. Has he got a flat as well? No, he hasn't. But that's Dylan Platt spinning in the middle of the track there. Phil Harris having to avoid him.
What happened there? Did he hit some debris?
No, Phil Harris just... No, I think the problem was Dylan was just in the track and Phil Harris just came across him. Luckily, there was no incident. Phil Harris avoided that, but poor old Dylan there, he's just no control. There's nothing he can do.
He tried to...
Oh, he's got to watch it now. Oh! Corner cutting, 3-second time penalty for Dylan Platt. He's not going to be best pleased with that.
Don't drive too far back, you will get disqualified.
Get in the pits. It can still happen. Also, Sean Street has now got ahead of Dylan as well. So Dylan into the...
Oh, no! Oh, he's got lucky there.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, he's got a 5-second time penalty, though.
He has got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, well, speeding in the pit lane is better than kissing the wall.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, the thing is probably that the tires were so done that they probably blew out.
Yeah. Now, this is the thing that Phil Harris has got to watch out for as well.
Yeah, well,
Phil Harris now is on his 35th lap.
Yeah, and Sean Street as well.
And Sean Street. They got to. And I've got to say, I don't think they're really pushing. Oh no, he is pushing. Sorry, I stand corrected. Yeah, Phil Harris is still pushing. Sean Street is now up to P2. Thomas Cook is 3. Lee Pratt is 4. And Dylan Platt is down in P5. But he is on a set of mediums. There are 21 laps remaining. Those mediums will take him to the end of the race.
Yeah, they will take him to the end of the race.
He's got it all to do now. He's 4.6 seconds behind Lee Pratt.
Yes.
Yeah, and Phil Harris is in. Yeah, Phil Harris is in. Now, Sean Street is coming around. Is he going to come in as well? Yes, he is. Sean Street is coming in as well. So, Thomas Cook is just coming up towards turn 14 now. He will assume... Or will he? No, I think Phil Harris will actually get out ahead of him. Yeah, Phil Harris will get out ahead of him.
The thing here is just did Dylan Platt serve that 5-second time penalty? I haven't seen that.
I think he got awarded it. Was it? I think he got awarded 5 points, 5 seconds anyway. Yeah. So Thomas Cook is now in P2. Phil Harris does come out, maintain that P1 position. Thomas Cook has moved up to 2, but he'll have to come in relatively shortly because he's on softs. Sean Street is in 3. He's on a fresh set of mediums. Lee Pratt is in 4. He's on a 16-lap set of hard compound tyres. He can't go to the end of those, so he's going to have to pit. So Dylan really needs to get past Lee Pratt if he can on track. He's 2.1 seconds behind. He was 6 seconds behind, so he has definitely closed down that gap. No doubt about that. He really needs to definitely needs to catch up to Sean Street, and this is going to be a really big ask because Sean's come out on a fresh set of mediums. This is going to be, you know, if Dylan delivers here and gets on that podium, it's going to be a real achievement. It's going to be
a really good one. It's going to be a good one.
Okay.
Well, what a race till now. What a race.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. It has been a fantastic race. Tony Foster, we are on board with at this moment in time. He's currently in a P10 in the points, so 1 point for Tony Foster at this moment in time. Matt Goodyear is in P9, and he is really harassing Cameron Widdowson at this moment in time in the Williams. He definitely wants to get past this Williams, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's putting on DRS. And he's got about 55% of ERS left. So he's using that now. He's gaining a bit. Let's see what
he's on a set of hard compound tyres. Cameron Widdowson's on a lovely fresh set of yellows.
Yeah.
Mediums.
Well, what does that say in a race like this?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh.
Yeah. He's just, Cameron Widdowson just trying to break the toe, I think, on that back straight there.
Yeah.
From that Mercedes.
Oh, he's going right and left. And he can't move.
He cannot move once. Again. That's it. He can't move again, my friend. They're side by side coming down into one. Oh, look at this. Yes.
Nice move, nice move.
Yes, good move there from Matt Goodyear.
And he delivered a time penalty as well.
And Cameron Widdowson picks up a 3-second time penalty for cutting track limits there, but Matt Goodyear makes the move, moves up into that P8 position. P7 is Callum White, and this race really hasn't gone Callum's way, has it?
No, it hasn't. You've seen him here, you've seen him there, but he's not getting into the flow.
I mean, he started on the grid in P8, which, you know, a little bit surprising. Would have expected him a little bit further up. He's only moved up 1 place overall in the race standing. So yeah, Callum not having the race I think he'd like to have. I don't think Bahrain is a track that's particularly favoured by him. Then we have Chris Knight, the Alfa Romeo team. Chris Knight, he is in P6, up 11 places. Okay, we have had 2 DSQs, 7 DNFs, but still, good achievement. He's been up there early doors before a lot of that happened, so great race there, certainly from Chris Knight in the Alfa Romeo. Lee Pratt, well, he stays where he is, qualified in P5, is now back up to P5, had that, let's say, disaster, inverted commas, obviously put him back again to the back of the pack. He's had to come back through. He has been fighting, but again, this hasn't really been a race I think that he's going to sort of think, yeah, that was good.
No, I don't think he's going to say it's good, but I do think he's going to say, I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
I've been up there. I've started from after my pit stop, he's gone back a bit, and now he's climbing the rig again.
Yeah, so, I mean, he stands a good chance at this moment in time. He is on the white wall tyres. So, let's have a look. He's on the white walls, 18 laps. He can do another 10 laps or so on those. So he's going to be going on to the reds. 4.4 seconds off the back of Dylan Platt. So, not too shabby. Dylan, well, I mean, nightmare. He's on those hard compound tyres. It's all going so well. He's 15.5 seconds ahead of Phil Harris in P2, and then bang goes the rear tyre, and that's it. But to be fair, at least he made it back to the pits. Just. It's
a risk you take going that deep with these tyres, and then obviously it bit him in the rear. Oh, it started to slide there a bit. And a blowout and a spontaneous blowout. I haven't seen much. I have seen cars drive over some
we did
debris.
Have one in Australia as well last week, actually.
Did you? Oh,
yeah, we did. So we have seen punctures. So it's another one again here. But I guess it's just a little reminder to those guys. That's what happens if you push those tyres to extremes. Yeah. Okay, Phil Harris and Sean Street, they survived that, but in other words, you've got a 33% chance of something happening, and do you want to take that chance?
Yeah, well, that's it. And I don't think a blowout occurs very often. Having to say that just as you said last week, you had one, and now we had one.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't seen it too frequently.
Well, Sean Street is in P3, and I think he's going to be pretty happy with that. It's where he started, as we can see here. Started in P3, row 2, maintained that place. So no great complaints there, I think, from him. If he can get a little bit further up, I'm sure he will. But at this moment in time, I think he's pretty happy with that.
Yeah, he should be. He's doing all right there. Maybe he's finishing the race on these tires.
Right. Well, Thomas Cook for Alfa Romeo, a driver that certainly is giving it his all. There's no two ways about it.
No.
He's gone up 12 places. Started in P14. He's now in P2. He's not going to maintain that P2. He's going to need to come in and pit, and then obviously he's going to fall behind. Could probably fall to, P4. He might be battling it out with Dylan Platt, actually. But still, a great race from him, though, isn't it? He's into the pits. He's into the pits.
Yeah, something strange happened again. He was, in my view, he was driving to the right to the pits, and then he was turning to the left to the straight.
Yeah, but now he's just in the pits and coming out.
Coming out. What is going on?
That is very weird. I can't even go on board with him at the moment.
No, and it says he's on new. And now he's out.
Yeah, now he's on a fresh set of
softs. Set of softs,
yeah. So he's got 15 laps remaining, and he's opted to go onto a fresh set of softs. Somehow the pit stop was completely missed.
Yeah.
But never mind. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But anyway.
Codemasters. Codemasters.
Sorry, Code Messers, you mean?
Code Messers. Code Prutsers.
So, Thomas Cook out on track, fresh set of softs. He's in that P4 position. He's got Lee Pratt 7.7 seconds behind, but he's on a relatively old set of hard compound tyres for this circuit this evening. So, he's going to have to be coming in probably within the next 5 laps, maybe less. So, Thomas Cook, he's in P4. Dylan Platt is now up into P3, obviously, as Thomas Cook came in. That is important, but he's still 13.3 seconds off the back of Sean Street. It is a little bit less than it was early. He was 15 seconds off the back of him. But that's still a lot of work to do. I mean, 15 laps, 13 seconds. He's assured a podium place. I think he's definitely got that P3 sewn up, barring any further incident. But can he really catch up to Sean Street and make that challenge for the P2?
Yeah, you can.
Think so?
I think you can.
I don't know. 14 laps are now remaining of this race. Dylan Platt is in P3 and he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get into that P2 position. Sean Street, in the meantime, is in P2.
Chris Knight's in the pits.
Yes, he is. Yeah. 18 lap old soft, so he's going on to another set of softs, I bet you. Yes, he is.
Yeah. That's
so
good.
Sean Street is in P2. He's on 6 lap medium tyres. Definitely going to the end of this race. And at this moment, I've got to say, he's looking pretty safe for that P2. We're saying Dylan Platt is going to look to close down to him, but I'm sure that Sean is more than aware of that. And he's going to look to try and maintain as best lap times as he can. But I've got to say, I haven't seen as yet any fastest laps set by Sean. Have you?
No, I think the last fastest lap was Thomas Cook.
Yeah, I think it was. So Sean Street is in that P2 and he could well be challenged at the close of this race by Dylan Platt. So let's see what happens. But Phil Harris, yet again, due to Dylan Platt having well, not due to, he's put in a good race, to be fair. He's maintained that second place all the way through. And he just pounced at the right time. He was there. Dylan, unfortunately, wrong call, got a flat. Phil Harris there to take up that slack, takes that P1 position, and I think he's going to be feeling pretty confident. 13 seconds ahead of Sean Street at this moment in time.
Yeah, he's going to be okay. He should be driving his own. As we talked before, he should be driving his own race and not care too much about who's driving behind him.
Yeah.
Just stay on the safe side.
Concentrate on what you're doing. Just watch him into turn 11 as well. You see, he doesn't go in so deep on that first apex, but really rides that on the left-hand side, round 12. So slightly different approach to some other drivers. I've got to say, that's not the way I tend to go in a little bit tighter on 11, but I can see the logic in that one.
I can too. I don't think I don't approach that corner that wide from the beginning, but it's interesting to see
other people's strategies and approaches. Yeah, absolutely. So Phil Harris is in P1, as we were saying. Sean Street is 2. 3 is Dylan Platt. 4 is Thomas Cook. 5 is Callum White. 6 is Matt Goodyear, 7 is Lee Pratt, 8 is Chris Knight, 9 is Cameron Wilson, and 10 is Tony Foster in the points. So all there still. DNFs, we have Jack Wilson, Kyle Jackson, Adrian Rich, Jamie Good, Ross Milburn, Ryan Doran, and disqualifications, we have Ryan Lear and Josh Diggles. Josh Diggles certainly questionable disqualification, but you know, that's the way it goes, unfortunately. And Ryan Lear, a very bizarre disqualification, just decided to park in the middle of the track. Bit of an odd one there. Don't quite know what happened, whether he lost control or power or whatever. He certainly didn't lose connection, but I'm sure that that will be looked at anyway. We've got now 12 laps remaining, Guido, and I've got to say, you called Matt Goodyear for the win. He's down in 6. I don't think you're going to get it. I'm not taking the mick because obviously I called Dylan
The one you
Platt.
picked is not driving anymore.
I called Dylan Platt.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I got it wrong. Ross Milburn, I called for pole. I actually got that wrong. Dylan Platt, I called for the win. I'm a little bit gutted. I've got to say that my, choice didn't deliver. But we still got 11 laps remaining, and as we often say, and it says, but it's so true. Anything can happen. I mean, we could see something happen, which might mean that Dylan Platt would win this race.
Yeah, what was it? It was 2 laps ago we were talking about if you could catch Sean Street. Yeah. Look at that. And it was 13 seconds then, to 12 seconds. Look at this now. It's 9 seconds. So there's...
Well, he's closed in 3 seconds, about 1.5 seconds per lap on the last 2 laps. So 1.5 seconds per lap. Oh. He's got 11 laps. That's, let's see, 11, 18. 18 seconds. 17 seconds. So he is on target to close down on him, but he's going to close down on him around about lap 53.
All right, and the back PA is starting an interesting fight. Chris Knight closing in on Lee Pratt, but Lee Pratt is also closing in
on Matt Goodyear. So we've got a little bit of line astern for P6 and P7. Matt Goodyear currently in 6. He's got Lee Pratt 6/10 off the back of him, and Lee Pratt in 7 has got Chris Knight 6/10 off the back of him. Lee Pratt's really closed it down now, 3/10 off the back of Matt Goodyear, and this could be dangerous for Matt. He's got to be careful. They're coming through sector 2 as they wind down the hill, coming down to...
Matt Goodyear's lost it!
Whoa! Matt Goodyear has indeed lost it, and Lee Pratt gets ahead of him and Chris Knight. So unfortunately, Matt Goodyear there just loses the traction as he was coming around out of 7 down towards, I think it was 6, 7, but we've seen him come off at 6 before, haven't we, Matt? So clearly he's not too comfortable around that middle sector.
I don't know, it's maybe those 2 chevrons in the back of you when you're driving that you see closing in gets you nervous, and then lets you make small mistakes, mistakes you wouldn't do before, and then resulting into
but then again, to be fair, if I look at his tyres, he's on 20 lap old white wall hard tyres, so it could be that those tyres have just gone from him now.
Well, you can go to 30, we've seen that.
Well, we have, I've got to say, but we've also seen somebody come in after 23 laps. So again, I guess it's the way you drive.
Yeah, move made again. Chris Knight overtaking Lee Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Knight has got ahead of Lee Pratt. So Lee's trying to come back at him as much as he can, but he's just not able to close down. I mean, Chris Knight again, absolutely moving at a good old pace here. He's already 9/10, nearly a second ahead of Lee Pratt. Oh, a little bit squirmy. Little bit squirmy as he was coming out of 8 there. Let's watch him out of 10, see if he has the same issues. No, far more control there. Lee Pratt, nothing that Lee Pratt can do. Chris Knight gets ahead of him. They are both on the softs. Now Chris Knight has got 1.9 seconds to Callum White, just ahead of him in the Red Bull. I'm confident he's going to close that down, definitely, isn't he?
Yeah, he should, because Callum White's
just going wide, and Callum's not comfortable with those hard compound white walls as they stand at this moment in time. I really think they are going out from underneath him. Look, going very wide.
Well,
out of 15 there. He's not, he's staying out.
Why would you take the risk then?
Well, Chris Knight is now closing down. He's not going to close down on him to turn 1, but he is definitely going to be on his tail once they get through that sector 2. That back straight leading them down to the end of sector 2. That's the one where he's going to look to make the move, I think. But Lee Pratt still tight behind Chris Knight as well. He's only 5/10 off the back of him. He's not giving it up. He's definitely going to be challenging. But again, you know, he is on those soft compound tyres and a fresher set of soft compound tyres. So no reason why he shouldn't be challenging. Chris Knight now coming round 10. He's got Callum White firmly in his target here.
Interesting.
As well. So this is a real good one here to get us wound up. Thomas Cook now 3 seconds off the back of Dylan Platt. Dylan Platt 5 seconds off the back of Sean Street. This is all happening here in the closing stages. We're going to see some very, very close driving and overtaking. I can guarantee it in the closing 8 laps of this race. We are on board with Chris Knight at this moment in time. He's looking to make the move on Callum White as they come down the start-finish straight. He's got DRS Callum trying to break it. Then, the contact! Oh, contact!
Oh, wheel banging, love it, love it,
and that
love
is
it.
Callum White, I think, has come off is suffering there. He's lost an end plate. Callum White has lost the front right end plate. That's what we saw flying off, was Callum White's end plate on the front right. And he's now really under pressure from Lee Pratt as well. He locks up as they come round 4, down through sector 2 now. And Callum White, he is definitely biting, grinding his teeth and seeing red, because he is, you can tell he is just, this is driving on pure adrenaline at this moment in time.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, he should. It should be not. He shouldn't have a lot of problems with his wing. It's just the wing end plate that is broken off. He could be able to continue.
Well, watch it round 11 and 12 though. This could be dangerous for him. Lee Pratt is on the prowl. He can smell blood. Callum White looking to try and stay ahead of him now as Lee Pratt closing down round 13. And Callum goes wide. Oh, nearly loses it. And look at this. Look at this, Lee Pratt. This is a drag race down to turn 14. No DRS here, boys, and he just gets his nose ahead. Lee Pratt gets ahead of Callum White. And Callum White is going to be a very unhappy bunny. He's going to try and see if he can come back. And he is indeed daring to come back. He will. Does have the DRS on Lee Pratt. They're side by side. No. Zones in behind him. He's going to try and see if he can get him out of 2 into 3. Not quite. Not quite. And in the meantime, Dylan Platt is 3.5 seconds off the back of Sean Street. Thomas Cook's dropped a little bit further behind him, 2.6 seconds. Oh, Callum going wide there. Out of 5, 6, into 7. Oh, this is so close. Callum White, remember, he's on 23 lap old hard compound tyres. Lee Pratt is on 6 lap old soft Red Bull tyres. So
Callum's he's fighting like a lion.
He is going
with those tyres.
He is absolutely pushing these to the absolute ragged edge. 23 laps. We saw Dylan Platt get a puncture on 27. I think it was. 28.
Oh no!
He's lost. Oh, he's got plenty of runoff, fortunately. That was lucky. He's got plenty of runoff there. Manages to get it, and I think that might sort of get him to sort of get a little bit under control here. It's the front right end plate he's lost. Okay, let's get it under control now, Callum. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Okay, I think we've pretty much settled there, but Lee Pratt is looking to close down on Chris Knight. Chris Knight, 43 seconds off the back of Thomas Cook. And his teammate, Thomas Cook, is currently in that P4 position, 2.1 seconds off the back of Dylan Platt. He has closed it back down somewhat, but Dylan Platt is closing it down. He is definitely reining in Sean Street. We're on lap 51 or 57. I said he was likely to catch up with him. I think round about lap 53, I think I said.
Yeah.
I'm still sticking to that. I think it's going to be around about lap 53, 54. But Dylan is a man on a mission here. I said, could he close it down? Could he get down and challenge Sean Street for that second place on the podium? And I think he's sending me a very clear answer here, Dino.
Yeah. Now the thing here that comes into play are the penalties. Dylan Platt has 2 penalties. Sean Street has 1 penalty.
So that's a 3-second gap immediately. So that gap is not 2.7 seconds. It's actually 5.7 seconds.
Yeah, and I think that Sean Street has 2 warnings.
So one more mistake and he could be equal pegging on penalties with Dylan Platt, which means that we're then back down to the 2.6 seconds. So, okay, this is very interesting. Phil Harris, in the meantime, 14.4 seconds ahead of Sean Street. He's very comfortable indeed. In fact, he's actually closing in on the back marker there of Tony Foster by the looks of it. Yes, he is. So, Phil Harris just coming up to the point at the closing stages of this race where he could potentially be lapping Tony Foster.
Phil Harris is a front runner and he has 2 warnings and no penalties.
So no penalties for Phil Harris. And Cameron Widdowson has made a move on, yes, because Callum White has now come into the pits. He is getting a new nose fitted. He's got a fresh set of red wall tyres. Now he's got to go for it. Cameron Widdowson is his target. Tony Foster will actually be the first one. Has Tony Foster got ahead of him?
Yeah. Cameron Widdowson is in the back.
He has. No, Cameron Widdowson is still ahead of Tony Foster. So he's going to be trying to close down to Matt Goodyear. He's just under 6 seconds ahead of him. He's going to have to really work very hard, but he could potentially do it. So Matt Goodyear's on a hard compound tyre. He could well be. Is he going to come in or is he going to stay out? He's only got 4 laps, but he's on 26 lap old hard tyres. We saw what happened to Dylan. Is he going to risk it or is he going to come in and go onto the softs? Tough one to call because he will still be ahead of Callum White because Callum White's come in. He's gone to a set of softs. So, oh, dearie me. Matt Goodyear nearly going off around 11, slowed it right down there. So these guys are still having the challenges. And this is the problem because Tony Foster as well, he's on 29 lap old hard compound tyres. But he seems to be far more assured on his grip. I think he's ridden those hard tyres rather well, and he's moving aside to let Phil Harris through. Yeah, moves aside, lets the race leader through. Phil Harris now lapping Tony Foster. Tony Foster's now in P9 because Callum White came in and pitted, but Callum's 11 seconds off the back of Tony Foster. The best will in the world. 3 laps to go. I don't think he's going to close that down.
I wonder what Dylan Platt's going to do.
Well, Dylan Platt now 1.7 seconds off. We are off. Clearly, Sean Street has opened up the valves. He's aware that Dylan's closing down to him. Dylan is still 1.7 seconds off the back of Sean Street, and there are only 3 laps now remaining. Can he do it?
Yes, he can.
Can he do it?
I think he can, but it all comes down to the penalties now. Maybe he can push Sean to make a little mistake, get an extra penalty point, but otherwise Dylan Platt's going to stay on P3, I think.
Yeah, I think he will.
I think one of those penalties he got was still a 5-second penalty, not the 3-second penalty.
Well, we will see very shortly as to what is going to happen. Only a few laps now remaining. 3.5, 4 laps basically, 3.5 laps here remaining. Dylan Platt 1.1 seconds now off the back of Sean Street. He is now getting within DRS and we are on lap 54. I was questioning whether he would actually be able to close down, but he has in a major way closed down, and now he's got his teammate Callum White just slotting in behind him, just trying to move aside to let them through. Doesn't want to obviously detract anything from his teammate's race, and Dylan Platt on the start-finish straight now. He's within, he has DRS on Sean Street. Is he going to make the move now? Is he going to really look to get ahead of Sean Street? Take that P2 position from him. He's closed him down round 2, out of 3 now. Coming down to that hard right, turn 4. Downhill now, round 5, 6, 7, 6 as they're coming down. 6, 7, 6, 6, 7 as they're coming down. 6, 7, 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 Look at this. 6/10 off the back of Sean Street, and I know that Sean is sitting there thinking, okay, he's coming in. All I've got to do is keep him back for another 2 laps. 2.5 laps. I mean, that's what he's going to be looking to close the door on him as much as he can, isn't he? That's the only thing he can do.
He's not going to make that. He's going to get those 2 long straights still. And oh, look, he's trying to make a move here. He's going to get nervous. Keep your composure, stay in it. And obviously they can ask Jeff how the drivers in front and the drivers in the back are doing. And how much penalties they have, so I hope they take it into consideration. But then again, when they let Dylan Platt go into the free air, he can pull away pretty quickly and pretty far.
Oh, he's doing it now. Look at this, side by side with Sean Street as they're coming down into turn 1.
Ooh.
They are, oh, and Dylan just gets his nose in front. Yes, he does. Dylan takes that 2nd place from Sean Street. Sean Street is going to look to try and challenge him back, but he's got to stay really tight in behind him as they come out of this sector 1 into sector 2. He's got to be really tight in behind Dylan Platt to take advantage of when they come out of 10 on that short DRS. But look at this, Dylan is already starting to pull away. 6/10 is the gap. He does have the DRS. Is Sean Street going to be able to come back? In the meantime, Phil Harris is coming round to start his final lap. And he can't. He cannot close it down. He's got the DRS. Round 11, this is the one that's going to tell now. Into 12. And Dylan is just pulling away, isn't he? Look at that. 1.1 seconds already, 1.3, that's it. Sean Street, he's lost his opportunity to come back. He's in P3 and he's got Thomas Cook closing in on the back of him as well. So he could potentially lose that P3 position as well. In the meantime, Phil Harris coming round the 1st sector. He's going to be looking to come into the 2nd sector now. I've got to go with Thomas Cook though. Thomas Cook side by side now with Sean Street into 1. Oh, doesn't quite make it. Final lap here. He's going to go all hell for leather.
Thomas Cook has 1 penalty.
Right, this is really it now.
So basically, Sean Street and Thomas Cook are fighting on the same level. So they're fighting for a position because they both have 1 penalty and 2 warnings.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. They're on that back straight now. He's got the DRS. Can he do anything with it? No, he can't. Gonna have to cut to Phil Harris now as he comes down towards turn 14. Phil Harris for Ferrari in this F1 Tonight UK Season 2, Round 2 here at Bahrain. Phil Harris takes the win for Ferrari. What a fantastic, fantastic race. But Dylan Platt comes back after that puncher, getting 2nd. What a fantastic run for Dylan Platt. I mean, he could have lost it all there, but he came back and he's got back on the podium, not only for 3rd place. He could have had a comfortable 3rd, but no, he went for it and got that 2nd place. Oh, sorry, no, he didn't. He got 4th. Sorry, I do apologise. I'm just saying that as I'm writing a few things. I didn't see it, yeah, because he's got points. So Thomas Cook takes 2nd. Sean Street takes 3rd. Dylan Platt takes 4th. So you can ignore what I sent earlier, Guido. This is the one, I think.
Yeah.
So fantastic race there. Dylan Platt takes 4th. Chris Knight, I think, will take 5th. Lee Pratt will take 6th. 7 will be Matt Goodyear. 8 will be Cameron Widdowson. 9 will be Tony Foster. And 10 will be Callum White. Disappointed, I am sure. And indeed, that's how it's panned out. Chris Knight 5, Lee Pratt 6, Matt Goodyear 7, and Cameron Widdowson will be 8. So, Guido,
Wow.
what a fantastic race. I mean, there wasn't much time there to fill in, to be brutally honest, because it was all happening, wasn't
Listen,
it?
mate, sometimes you get those races where people just drive by themselves, but this was awesome.
Yeah.
There was so much going on, and it's,
Yeah.
from a commentator's point of view,
It was great, yeah, got to say. Congratulations to Lee Pratt for a fantastic race. Sean Street and Thomas Cook as well. And I've got to say, driver of the day, Thomas Cook, Guido?
yeah, I'm going to give it to Thomas Cook.
Yeah, I've got to agree. Thomas Cook takes driver of the day. I mean, what a fantastic result. Started in P14, finished in P2. Absolutely fantastic. Never gave up, challenged all the way through. Great race for him. Great race for Phil Harris as well. I'm sure he's going to be very, very happy with that. And I think Thomas Cook also, did he get fastest lap?
Ooh.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. Sean
Yes,
Street
he did.
came in 3rd. Dylan Platt 4th. Chris Knight 5th. Lee Pratt for Ferrari 6th. 7 was Matt Goodyear for Mercedes. Cameron Widdowson for Williams was 8. 9 was Tony Foster for McLaren. 10 was Callum White for Red Bull. DNFs were Jack Wilson for Renault, Carl Jackson for Mercedes, Adrian Rich for Renault, Jamie Good for Toro Rosso, Ross Milburn for Racing Point, and Ryan Doran for Haas. Disqualifications were Ryan Lear for Haas and Josh Diggles for Williams. Well, that was our little session there. And don't forget, this Thursday, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 Central European time, you have the F1 tonight, Netherlands boys, who will be here for their Season 7 Round 2. And Guido, you're looking forward to that one?
Yeah, I think it's a good race. It's going to be, because I like the track, and well, we'll see what happens. If it's as much as if much happens as it did over here, then well, it will be cracking.
Indeed. So if you want to see a rerun, a different race for this Thursday here at Bahrain for F1 tonight, Netherlands, then make sure you get down there. Join us this Thursday, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 Central European time. Your commentators for Thursday will be Dan Burt and Adrian Stats Rich. So see you Thursday. I'll be back next week for the Chinese Grand Prix. It hasn't been cancelled. We are still running the China Grand Prix next week on Tuesday night. So make sure you're there. From me, it's a good night.
And from me as well, good night.
Good night, everyone.